Under the same moon, we share the love. Embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. And now do we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to News at Night. We have a special report tonight with Mama Flips that's going to be on deck. In fact, we also have Jeff Springer who tells us, let's roll. So, Jeff, we're going to roll. We're going to roll right into this story about Nolan Wells. But tonight we have quite some information that's going to be quite revealing when it comes to this case. And I think you're going to really start to see something different start to shape up. So let's bring on Mama Flips to begin the discussion. Mama Flips, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you quite well. So, what do you think about all the commotion that's happening? There's so many subject matters for us to talk about. We have Anthony Fauci, we have Nolan Wells, we have the whole TPS with Haitian people. But I figured we get started with Nolan Wells because a lot of people would probably want to hear about that first. So, what is your take on Nolan Wells?
I think that there's a lot of, let's say, there's a lot of issues with what's going on with Nolan Wells, and I'm trying to be polite. We do not know what's happening with that particular case. Everything that's being told so far, to me, in my opinion, is not the whole story. Okay, I think there's a lot of, from the very beginning, even though I haven't talked about it, I made a couple of posts on TikTok, and we spoke about it before, but from the very beginning I've been saying over and over again that there's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to this, right? We cannot just continuously act as if this is a normal case, like it's a normal situation in which a young man went on a trip and actually, unfortunately drowned. We can't act like that because there's way too much unanswered questions. Like, for example, if we've been, unfortunately, there's been a horrible situation in which people drowned, right? There's been children in pools, in lakes. There've been high tide, low tide. There's been various reasons, but we get the answer right away. Yes, look, unfortunately, this person went in the water, and they lost their lives. People around, there's people that try to rescue them. There's people that try to rescue them. Nobody even talking about, how we saw him in the water and we try to rescue him, right? There's people who are traumatized by it. There's people who somebody's missing, they will go look for them. In this case, it was nothing. It's like everybody don't know what happened to Nolan. That's my problem. Everybody doesn't know what happened to Nolan. One person said, one girl said, I was talking to him and he said he was going back to the boat. The other people said, oh no, he wanted to talk to the girl. But neither party, nobody know what happened. It's like he's a ghost. And all of a sudden, 2 days later, he ended up face down in the sand, and nobody could tell us what's going on. And immediately after that, everybody lawyered up. Everybody lawyered up. Everybody got a lawyer. Oh, let's not forget the phone that didn't see the way to the hand of an 18-year-old teenager, because he's practically a teenager. And we all know that these kids don't go anywhere without their phone, right? It ended up from the boat in a friend house traveling. And then after that, we find out that some of the message was deleted. It doesn't make sense. And the way they're acting ridiculous, all of them. So now we went through all of this, right? It's been almost over a month now that this situation happened, July 4th. Well, not quite a month, right? We've been through all of this. We've asked questions, right? people had, there's a lot of people who has made some horrible comments to the friends that actually left Nolan on the island, right? And that's not right. That's improper. But most of us just want to know what happened to this young man. Most of us just want to ask a question: what happened to him? He went on a trip with his alleged friends. He ended up missing. He ended up unalive. What occurred between the time he left home to get on that boat? What happened? That's what we're asking. All of a sudden, we're wrong for asking. All of a sudden, we're wrong for asking. And now we have these. Initially, there was a lot of people in the community that was coming out and saying, well, my son didn't do this. My daughter didn't do this. We didn't see nothing, blah, blah, blah. Right? After they got lawyers. Now they identify different black faces in the community to come and tell us what we don't know. Before the investigation happened, then you had the second thing, you had the sheriff come out and say, we saw nothing irregular. There was nothing there that made us think it was foul play before you did the investigation. Not the sheriff doing the investigation, not everybody coming out. What I'm finding interesting is when all the white faces wanted to come and tell us what's going on. Now they have black people coming to tell us like, oh, something, no, we have great relations here. We just, it's not about an ace thing. You guys make it an ace thing. We all get along. It's y'all that's causing the trouble and stuff. And then you have this young 18-year-old kid, which I initial TS talking about, oh, we are close. And if you guys come at us, we know what to do. Like, boy, what? What do you know how to do, TS? You an 18-year-old young boy nephew. What you gonna do? We want to know what's going on. Instead of threatening us, the rest of us who wants to know what happened to Nolan, why don't you go figure out what's happening and tell us the truth. And then you have this Officer T who actually going out of his way to interview all these people, right? And repeating what they say to us as evidence to us to say, hey, stupid, I have all the answers. He went on the island, right? To show what? What are you showing? We saw the video, we saw the film. We know that there could be a lot of incidents that could happen when people are crowded. How many one of our loved ones has been unalived in the middle of the street? My own nephew was pew-pewed on Farmers and Linden in Queens, outside of McDonald's. You don't know how many. There was a lot of people at McDonald's. There was a lot of people. At the Chinese restaurant. There were people across the street. There were people driving. Do you know how many witnesses? One. The girl that was with him. One. So don't come and tell me that other people did not see what was going on. And because they didn't see that nothing happened. Come on, give me a break. And now you have this RL attorney who's begging for clients, who wants on Facebook is like, oh, I think it's wrong that everybody's going after these kids. They didn't do anything wrong. And then he had the nerve to be trying to take out surveys and polls about acism in America to try to tell us black folks that there's no acism. Oh, before 2014, black people, what was it, 47% or 37% black people, and 71% of white people didn't think that race was an issue or acism was an issue in 2014. But it kind of changed in 2021. I wonder why. Maybe it's the media. The media is causing us to think that things are different, and then everything is wonderful, lovely, and butterflies. That's RL. And then he has the nerve, after begging for clients, and that's exactly what he did, because he went on Facebook and said, if anybody is being threatened in any way, I will give you free services because I don't think it's right. Who the hell do you know in that family? Obviously, you're connected somehow, or you're begging, or you're an ambulance chaser, right? So now one of the kids decided, yeah, we're gonna take you up. And now they're going after her. I don't know if she's only found London, because some people said that she is in the industry, but she took a serious interest in this case. And she's a white cis, I believe. I'm not sure if she identified, but she has a white facing face. And she's like, they sent her a cis and desist. Talking about because she felt the story, she felt so passionate about the story, she figured that there was a particular young person that initially it was being reported that he wasn't there, right? It was being reported. So she's like, wait a minute, I have proof that he was there. Why did he say he wasn't there? So she started talking about it. Now this RL attorney sent her a cease and desist. And you know what she said? She said the same thing that the rest of us said.
What?
Scared? You sent her a cease and desist to do what? We ain't scared. She said, send it. She said, I'm not changing anything. I just heard her today. I didn't get her name, but I'm not speaking people's name anyway. But she said, I'm not scared. She was on this. She's like, I'm not scared. Send me. She said, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing for you to take. I don't own nothing. I ain't got nothing. I don't care. I'm going to continue to talk about this because I want a justice. She said, come at me. Come and get it. You understand what I'm saying? And the rest of us is pretty much that's in the story is saying the same thing. We're not accusing anybody of doing anything. We're not pointing at people and saying, hey, this person, that person did it. We don't know. That's the problem. And you guys are acting so shady about this thing from the very beginning that we can't get any answers. To the point where they promised to release the report. Now all of a sudden they're not releasing the report. So now we got all of this. And now suddenly we have a recording. This week we got a recording. Now I listened to the recording. And this is what I did. I actually closed my eyes and listened to the recording. So I didn't read it because there's this narrative. Oh, the reason why we think we heard the words of the recording is because we're reading the transcript. I actually closed my eyes because sometimes when depending on where you at, when there's a lot of stuff going on, in order for you to listen, you have to close one of your senses in order for the other sense to open up. That's what I believe. So I actually closed my eyes and I listened. And I'm like, I know damn well I didn't hear what I think I heard.
What did you hear?
No, you heard you know what I heard. I heard that there was an incident on that boat. I heard Nolan's name. I heard people crying. I heard people telling him to get up, right? I heard these things on my own ear. So unless you could come back and tell me that someone decided to arrange that recording and added AI, I heard what I heard. I didn't hear nothing about no water pump or something else broken. I didn't hear nothing. I heard that it was a bunch of people acting up. The kid that was talking to the operator, I even have question of why he sounded the way he did. But I don't want to defame anybody. But we all know what they were saying about these kids. We all know what it was a party, 4th of July. You know what kids do on 4th of July when they're having a party? So I'm trying to understand what his voice, why was his voice sounding the same a certain way? Maybe that's how we talk. But at the end of the day, there is now a recording. And I heard what was said. A lot of people heard what was said. People saying this manipulates, they manipulate it. They add all kind of whatever. So now the family came out today. There was a press conference, and now they want to give that video, that recording, that audio to actual experts to see exactly what's happening with that recording. And I want to know also, because I want to know if it was manipulated. I want to know if it's the truth. I want to know. But at the end of the day, all we want to know.
What's that?
Is what happened to Nolan. And I said to you, and I sent you a couple of videos, and I'm going to tell you what I said in one of my second videos. We just came from two separate horrific incidents that happened to young Black males. We have these Asian father and son. The father was found innocent from unaliving a 14-year-old as he ran away. He dropped his bag. He dropped whatever. He was running away. They chased him and they unalived that 14-year-old. That's Cyrus. Then we went through the Kamala Anthony trial, in which this young man, depending on what you see or what you heard, at the very, I think, minute understanding of the case, we, at least civilized people, intelligent people, could see that it was a dog and pony show. It was a speedy trial. He didn't have a fair trial, in my opinion, and a lot of people agree. You don't say that we have 3 Black persons who wants to be in the jury, and you tell us that they can't be in the jury because they're teachers, and yet allegedly there was a teacher there, right? You don't give certain instructions without allowing for additional charges, right? You don't allow kids who are proven to be lying on the trial without having certain repercussions. You don't, after the trial, do an interview.
I disagree.
Okay, you have a right to disagree.
I disagree.
You don't, after the trial, do an interview to show that you were biased in the first place. And
let me just tell you why I disagree with you. At Diddy's trial, when that girl came in and said Diddy had her hanging off the balcony, and she was telling the truth.
Yes, I would agree. She was.
You think Diddy can hold that? Have you ever tried holding something?
You saw how he picked up.
Oh my God!
Are you serious? That little girl was a little. She was this short, Mel. Stop playing with me, Mel. She was this short. She was a.
But she was this wide.
She was not this. Who are you talking about? She's a little girl. She was this small.
No.
What are we talking about?
The girl was. She's short, but she was wide. Diddy couldn't hold that girl over the balcony. Listen, let me get in. So when Westmoreland was talking to her and under cross-examination, she tore that girl apart and caught her in lies, and the judge did not remove her from the trial or charge her with any type of perjury or anything else.
You know what the judge said? And you know
what? But see, I can't talk about Diddy because you're biased against Diddy, so you're not going to accept anything I'm saying.
He's a monster. But you know what the judge said at his sentencing?
What's that?
You know what the judge said? Judge said, "I congratulate Westmore that she had her Perry Mason moment." That's what he said, right?
Right.
But he said that there is additional evidence in which Cassie texts what's her name? The one that's made 600,000. The nickname. His chief of staff, his right hand person.
KK. Christina Coram.
He said, "I want to," because I remember what the judge said. "I want to congratulate West whatever Moore for her moment." Right? He said,
"Yeah, I was there."
But here's the case. Here's the thing. She could have got the date wrong because, as she said, they were doing a lot of rugs at the time. It was a traumatic experience, and we also have additional evidence in which Cassie texts KK to tell KK that Diddy tried to throw her friend over the balcony. That's what the judge said. So no matter what you said, the judge believed that young person. He believed her. Do you want to forget about that? You want to forget about the follow-up?
See, Diddy's not a good trial because
But do you remember that? That's what I'm asking you.
I disagree. So you
don't remember that the judge
and that's not
said that?
The judge said a lot of things, right? But listen.
I'll take the transcript because I know what.
But listen, the jury didn't buy it. The bottom line is that did you hear her story? How long? And I don't want to get away from Nolan. She claimed Diddy had her hanging over the balcony. There's no man. Listen, I know a lot of people. I don't know anybody strong enough to hold a girl over the balcony without dropping her for an extended period of time. Forget about a human. Have you ever tried, let's say, hold a log or anything over a balcony for an extended period of time?
Well, she didn't say.
But let's forget about that case because you don't like Diddy, so it's okay.
It was an extended period of time. She said that he got mad and then he
now you're freezing
and then he pulled her up and stuff like that, and she had to fight to get for him to put her down. She didn't say extended period of time, and she didn't even say that he had her all the way across. He said that he was trying to push her and she was holding on to him so he don't push her over. You're adding too much, and yes.
So were you there for the cross-examination when Westmoreland cross-examined her?
But she had her Perry moment. All she did is she said, "Oh, guess what?" She went asked all kind of questions. She said, "Oh, if you look at the Facebook, the metadata show that Diddy was in doing an event at Boys and Girls High School." And guess what the judge said? The judge said she could have got the date wrong. That's what the judge said. The judge said she was doing a lot of rugs. The judge said the judge believed her. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Was there any, let me ask you this, was there any point during her testimony where you felt she was being untruthful?
I don't think that she was being untruthful. I felt that she got the date wrong. There was
No,
no.
I'm talking about her entire testimony.
No, I didn't think that she was being
Oh,
untruthful.
okay. All
I
right. So
didn't.
we're not. So that's
Only
not a good
person
that's
that
not
I
a good
would,
example because
only person that I would even that people kept on pushing me back on was Jane Doe. And I
okay.
don't want to say her name. That's the one that everybody kept on pushing me back. Oh, Mama Flip and stuff. And now that after she did the whole
So,
video
so
after
let so
the
let's take away the witness because obviously Diddy's not a good trial for you because
no,
you get emotional about it. You know
I
what I
get
mean?
emotional all the
So
trial.
so so the bottom line is there were individuals in Diddy's trial that were lying clearly.
That you felt was lying, but I did not feel was
I
lying.
don't think I'm the only one that felt that way,
I'm
but
showing
they did not get hit with perjury. They did not get hit with perjury.
what
So
whether they didn't get hit with perjury. I'm saying myself
okay,
in these specific cases, right? If the judge felt in the Diddy trial, which I already told you that the judge did not believe that she was lying, if the judge felt that that someone is deliberately committed perjury, they could be held in contempt. That has happened in other trials, and there were several kids, at least
right?
one, Eddie, and I believe a young lady that you mentioned that actually lied. That the judge could have held them in contempt because they proved they were lying. He did not. But that's just one of many things.
Okay, so let me give it to you
Oh,
this way, right? So
mhm.
let me tell you how it went down in court since you were there.
I
Okay,
wasn't there.
the
I'm
the
listening
girl
to
the
you. You're the
girl
one that told the girl
no
to
no
lie.
no I'm talking about for Diddy's case, right? You were there.
No, I'm not talking about the Diddy case. I'm talking about the Kamala Anthony case. We
No,
switched.
no, no. We're talking about
Okay,
Diddy's
tell me about
case,
the Diddy.
right?
Okay, go
When the
back.
girl gave her testimony and she said
Mm-hmm,
Diddy had her hanging off the balcony, when we came back from lunch,
mm-hmm.
Westmoreland showed Diddy wasn't even in town. He was in New
Yes,
York for that day. So
because of
that's so
metadata. By
so
metadata.
by metadata. So
Yeah,
Diddy wasn't in town to be holding somebody over the balcony for the
at
time
that
that she
day.
stated.
At that
Okay,
day.
but that's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean that she's
Oh my
lying.
God.
It doesn't mean that she's lying. That she
Okay.
showed videos that she was bruised, and
Oh my God.
Cass. What? So why would Cassie?
So let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question. Why
Oh
would
my God,
Cassie,
man.
many years ago, right? Many years, because it happened it must have happened like
Right?
67 years ago. Why did, according to my timeline, it happened years before they separated. Why would Cassie text KK and say that Diddy went crazy and tried to throw my friend over the roof? Why would she text him? So that she
Okay.
could know
I
7 years later,
that's
so she could say
listen
7
to
years
me.
later, oh, I'm gonna go
Okay,
to the
okay,
house with
okay.
him.
We get it.
That's
Listen,
what I'm saying.
listen, I get that. That's totally amazing, right? But what if right now you're in New York, are you?
Yes, I'm in New York. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's say tomorrow morning somebody says that you were hanging off the balcony and Diddy had you by your ankles.
Uh-huh.
Right? The
Yep.
metadata from probably you being on StreamYard with me right now is going to show you're in New York.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so how are you going to get around that? The defense attorney did a great job showing Diddy for that occasion. Diddy was not in town. Forget about what Cassie said or anybody else
You
said.
have to consider what
She
Cassie.
was caught. Listen, she was caught, and the girl was caught in a lie.
She said that because she spoke to the lawyer, she said this is the time frame that I believe that this happened. That's what they said, right? It was proven
Okay,
that Diddy was there. What I'm saying to you is that years ago, when the
okay,
incident happened, prior to her leaving Diddy, prior to her separating from Diddy,
okay,
right? She was still with Diddy years after the incident, right?
right,
Diddy actually continued to get the same girl that he actually tried to throw over. They still connected, right? He apologized to her, and he still gave her opportunity to travel with Cassie after the incident. We heard all of this. So
but
you're
hold on,
telling me that she
hold
went
on.
back in town, she went back in time 6 years because she knew she was going to sue Diddy 6 years later to say that, hey, KK, this crazy mofo tried to throw my friend over
Oh
the
my
balcony.
God.
That's what you're saying.
Let me ask you a question, all right? All this talking, okay? Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Did the girl say that Diddy had her hanging off the balcony?
She said yes. He tried to throw
Okay,
her.
hold on. We don't even need all the hoopla, all right? Check it out.
Uh-huh.
Didn't Westmoreland come in and show that the day that the girl said Diddy had her hanging. Listen, hang. I know it hurts. I know it hurts
It
your
doesn't
heart, but
hurt,
you
but
got.
you can repeat
Oh,
it.
wait a minute. Just sit through it. Take it. Just take it.
You're wrong.
Listen.
Now you're wrong.
No, wait. Let me
You have
get.
to read
I
it.
didn't say. I didn't make my claim. Can
You
you let
said
me
it,
make
you
my claim?
said it 3 times.
Westmoreland showed Diddy was not in L.A. when the said event happened. Is that right or wrong?
Boys and
No,
girls.
no, no, no. Answer the question. Is that a yes? No. Is that a yes or
He
no?
said by the metadata on the phone
See.
that he wasn't in town the
You
day
can't.
the day that is said. She said that the situation could have happened. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's more like a yes, right?
But Mel.
Yeah, but at least give me the yes. Hold on. Give me the yes and then do your butt. Give me the yes and then do your butt because you're caught. Right now you're caught out in the desert.
No, I said at the period of time that she said
that's not how it works in court.
That's exactly what she said. At the period of time that I believe it happened, that's exactly what she said. I believe it happened. This is the period of time that I believe it happened because of certain situation that was going on with Cassie. She said that's the period of time.
I'll give you that.
Westmore came out and said, "Oh, guess what? At that period of time, when we asked Facebook to do the metadata, he wasn't in town. He was doing a Boys and Girls charity event." That's what she said.
Right. In New York, right?
Right.
He wasn't in LA, right? How many miles is that apart?
Right?
How many miles is that apart?
Okay. Now, let's get back to what the judge says.
No, I don't. Listen. You're trying to
specifically that
oh my God,
she could have got the date. He said it.
The jury didn't buy it. The jury didn't buy it.
The jury didn't buy anything because they were all up
for a reason. Listen,
they were up crack a Diddy behind. The jury didn't buy
oh
nothing.
My God. See what I'm saying? We can't even stick to the facts.
Every girl apparently lied on Diddy on the case.
That's not the case. That's not the case. Now you're being facetious. No. That's not the case. That's not the case.
They didn't give him anything. They only gave him man because of the maltuition. They didn't give anything. They didn't believe Cassie. They didn't believe Jane. They didn't believe Capricorn. They didn't believe none of them. They didn't believe none of the girls. So how am I supposed to take the jury seriously when they didn't believe nothing?
They said Diddy free.
Lied.
They said Diddy free from the RICO, right? They didn't find that guilty of that.
Lying except for Diddy.
Because they're lying? Oh my God. So Diddy.
Everybody's lying but Diddy.
So Diddy got off because everybody's lying?
Because
the jury
was lying, yes. That's how I felt about it.
So they found Diddy not guilty for the two main charges that most people don't get away with?
Because they feel that everybody else was lying except for Diddy. Yes.
Okay. All right. So again,
anyway.
no, because you don't want to admit that.
I already told you what I admit.
Diddy was not. Here's the bottom line: Diddy was not in town, and listen, there's metadata to show that he was in New York when she said he had her hanging off of the balcony.
The judge disagreed that the girl was lying.
Forget about. Listen,
the judge is the judge. What do you mean forget about? You don't want me to forget
you had a problem. Listen, in Carmelo Anthony's case, you had a problem with the judge, right?
Oh, now
but listen, because you don't listen. Hold on. But because hold on. But because you don't like Diddy, now you have a different opinion. That judge, listen, that judge is so righteous because you don't like Diddy. He's so great.
I didn't say the judge was so great. I said
in so many words.
The judge was great or not. You didn't ask me. I actually liked the Diddy judge. God. But I thought the Diddy judge gave him too limited a time. The probation examination, the probation said to give him 7 years. The judge gave him 5 years. So I don't agree with everything the judge said when it came to the Diddy trial. I thought that he handled himself great, but I didn't like the fact that he gave Diddy only 5 years, and then after that he gave him time served, which I thought was bullshit myself.
Do you
don't say that I agree with everything with the judge? In regards to the judgment of Carmelo Anthony, that ACES judge had it all over his face, and then he had the nerve after the trial to actually do a freaking interview in which he showed his hand.
I don't dispute that, but Diddy's judge is righteous. I don't get it.
I didn't say that Diddy judge was righteous. I said that the judge did not believe that girl lied because there was additional evidence to prove that she wasn't lying.
Do
Why
you
would KK 6 years from before the trial send an email, a text to KK? Why would Cassie send a text to KK say that this man lost his mind yesterday and try to throw my friend over the roof? You
do
still
you
didn't answer that question.
do you believe in metadata?
You refuse to answer that question. You refuse to answer why Cassie told KK that he tried to throw his friend over the roof.
Well,
Why did she do that? Why did she do that? Is she
it's
lying?
still pointed
lying?
still pointed to the same time frame.
So Cassie was lying.
And Diddy was evidently, because Diddy wasn't in town.
So
Don't you get it?
Are accusing Cassie of lying 6 years?
I don't listen.
Hell no. You playing with me. I'm not even playing with you.
Listen.
Listen.
No. Listen. Here. One last thing. One.
Decided. Oh, I'm just gonna mess around with Diddy and send KK. Oh, so why didn't KK? Good point. Okay,
Cassie, listen.
KK is a friend. Oh, hold up. KK,
oh my God.
KK is getting $600,000 from Diddy. She loved Diddy. She covered Diddy behind every time. We saw text.
I saw that.
Why didn't the prosecutor come back and say, "Hey, here's a text from KK disputing this situation"? Why didn't the prosecutor? You know the prosecutor. You love Westmore, right? Westmoreland. You love her.
Yes, I do. Yes. And Brian Steele. Yes.
Whatever. You don't think that Mark and Westmoreland and Brian would have came back and said, "Hey, yes, that text did go out, but here is KK replying disputing what happened." You don't think they would have said they played the recordings? They played all the texts? What are you telling me, Mel?
So let me just ask you. Let me ask you this, right? Cassie and the other girl, I don't want to mention her name now, since whatever, right? They were pointing to a certain day and time. Okay.
Oh, you mean you're not talking about the young lady? Okay.
Westmoreland came in and proved that Diddy was not in town.
At that day.
But they were pointing to that day, okay?
They were not pointing to that day. That's not the Cassie was not pointing to that day. That they did not ask Cassie that particular day. That young lady said it happened during that period of time. Cassie did not say.
When was the text message? So let me ask you this: when was the text message?
The text message happened after the occurrence. That's what she testified to. That's what they said. They said that the text message happened after the occurrence, and she told KK that this incident happened. That's what the judge said, and that's what they didn't talk about when it came to Cassie. They didn't say that Cassie said at this particular time, this day, because I think Cassie was with him. So I don't think that Cassie was traveling. I think Cassie traveled with him. So they didn't say, "Oh, Cassie said on this day we were here." They didn't say that. The young lady said that was the period of time that I believe it happened, not Cassie.
But they had pictures from the event too, right? Remember that?
You're not. The judge believed.
Wait. I'm saying the girl. Listen, no. The girls had. The girl came in. She explained. Listen, she explained how she was hanging over the balcony.
She said,
simultaneously, her friends that were there also were taking pictures
of the incident
of being there for this event. So the white girl. Listen, the white girl was taking pictures, right? Cassie was taking her independent pictures. So now we have a place and time of when these girls are together, because. Remember, the girl that we're talking about, she was traveling in, right? She traveled in. Okay. So Westmoreland proved that during this time frame, when they're taking pictures and all that, Diddy is not in LA. He's in New York. He's in New York.
It was 3 or 4 days, yes.
And we have metadata to prove
and it could have happened
that he was not there.
It could have happened the week before, and the judge believed the girl. And he said the same thing. The judge said the same thing. She could have got the date wrong. Congratulations to Westmoreland for her Perry Mason. She kept on saying, I remember that. God. Congratulations to her for her Perry Mason moment. But I believe that she could have got the date wrong because she testified that she was under a lot of rugs and stuff. And there was an additional evidence in which Cassie sent KK a text saying that this incident happened. That's what the judge said.
So listen, one last point.
Go ahead.
Based on the way you approach it, right? That means we shouldn't even use any metadata when it comes to pictures, because it could be a different date that somebody's thinking about.
If somebody, yes.
Right? So why there's no real there's no thing
Everything
is proof
Facebook
then.
do is right? So everything Facebook does is right. So if Facebook,
No, it wasn't
do
Facebook. No, we're not talking about Meta as in Facebook. We're talking about the data that is established whenever you take a picture with your cell phone.
well, they said they got most of the information from Facebook. That's what I remember. They said they got most of the data, most of
And from the
photos.
phones. And phones.
I remember them saying most of the evidence they got was from Facebook. That's what they said, because at the time Facebook was prominent. And I remember them saying they had to reach out to get the information from Facebook. That's what I remember. And that's how it was proven that the
The photo of Diddy in New York did not come from Facebook.
I remember Facebook. It could have been something else, but
They used the metadata from a cell phone photo.
Okay,
that's what they mean when they say the metadata. They're talking about they were able to say they also had video that Diddy was not there during this occurrence.
On Facebook. On Facebook. It wasn't Instagram. It wasn't TikTok. It was Facebook.
You mean for Diddy? You talking about for Diddy?
Yeah, for the event that happened.
No, they had video. They had all sorts. It had nothing to do with Facebook. They had the video. Listen, they had heavy evidence that Diddy was in New York for this. In fact, they showed photos from the actual establishment that he went, and I think it was in one of the boroughs. So
I know where it is. It's Brooklyn.
They had
the Boys
yeah. So I don't remember
more about the event because I go to Boys. I used to go to Boys and Girls. I didn't go to school there. But I know exactly where Boys and Girls High is. I can tell you exactly where it is.
Okay, but here's the bottom line. They had different ways of photos and video from the event. So the bottom line is Diddy was not in LA is the bottom line.
When they said Meta, when they said Meta, because there was so many things coming from the Facebook, meaning also the white lady that was her name wasn't Jane Doe, but a lot of the information she posted about Diddy, how his birthday collage and everything was on Facebook. I thought that the information got on Facebook when they said metadata, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, there was additional evidence that was provided that showed that Diddy did something to that girl.
Even though he wasn't in town.
Cassie is going to send KK a text saying exactly this incident happened after the incident happened. There's no reason for her because she was still with him after the fact. That's crazy. But anyway, we were talking about Nolan. I'm sorry, everybody. We went on at the end of the day. In the Nolan case, the Carmela Anthony. First, we had Cyrus, or we had Carmela Anthony. It happened around the same time. We have two young black males that we believe as a community that was unfairly treated and was unalive. Now we have a third one, and we want to know what happened to this kid. That's all most of us want to know. It should have been very simple. It should have been very simple to prove if something tragic happened to him so that we could hear the truth and move on. All of the shenanigans that happened from the moment that this kid went missing and the moms and dad started asking questions, all of it went crazy. Disrespected the mom, disrespected the dad, disrespected the rights that they had to ask any questions. The friends lawyered up. Then we had the parents coming out, parent who happened to be a judge and should know better, speaking out. Now we have these black people in the community coming out and talking about how there's no acism in Mississippi in our area. We want big happy group. Give me a break. Like we stupid or something. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to tell us what we supposed to believe, right? Everybody want us to listen to them, not our eyes or ears. They won't even let the investigation be through so we could see what happened. They're trying to get ahead of it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's my problem with it, because I want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. That's what I want to know.
Okay, so before we talked about the whole Diddy thing, you were making the argument that in the case of Carmelo Anthony, people were lying and they were not getting locked up, right?
You said
that's how we got there.
We got there because you said, and you tell me if you're wrong now, because I did not listen. I didn't read the transcript of Carmelo Anthony. I didn't read it. I listened because it's not outside, right? I listened to everything you said. We did several lives about it. You informed me that Eddie lied, and you said that there was a young lady that they caught lying. You said there were two people that was lying. You said that. Are you
Right, but
saying
listen,
that
listen,
I'm
listen.
wrong?
We're talking about this show, and what triggered me telling you that people lie in court. And you said you were recanting everything, and you said in the Carmelo Anthony case, there people are lying, and there's basically they're not being perjured. So I said to you, I don't believe that. And then I told you from Diddy case, I saw people lying in court, and they didn't get perjured.
Right?
So
And
I'm saying you should go back to that statement and carry on your thought process.
I should carry on. No,
What was the
as
point you were making with Carmelo Anthony is what I'm
as
saying.
a result was I was making. It's the same. I finished the point. I said there was two situations that happened in which we felt was unfair. Right.
Okay.
One was the 14-year-old that was unalive. The father and the son chased them and unalive a kid. Right. Even though he dropped the bag or whatever, he was running away. They unalive and they were found. The father was found not guilty. That's one point. Then you have the Carmela Anthony situation in which people lied. There was a crooked judge in which they didn't allow him to be fairly represented by his community. That's including 3 black jurors that they let go because they said they were teachers and stuff. Then the judge, after the fact, did an interview. So that was an unfairness right there, and we're not supposed to question it. So we're not supposed to question what happened to Cyrus. We're not supposed to question what happened to Kamala Anthony. That's 2 back to back. Now you have a third incident where you have Nolan, who went to an island with friends and then come back alive. So now we're not even supposed to question that. That's what I'm making the comparison. We are tired. The reason why a lot of people are taking this particular situation when it comes to Nolan Wells, because everybody's like, why do you guys keep pushing it? Why you guys can't understand it's just this? Why are you making it to a race thing? It's because we had 3 young black male back to back get unalived.
Okay.
And Kamala Anthony is not alive, but 3 injustices that we believe as a community that they had a lot of questions that we want answered. So when it comes to Nolan, because we had to go through it with the 2 other young men, now we have Nolan that he can't even travel with his friends to a party. Like, we want to know what happened. And also, a lot of us feel is unfair because when Carmela Anthony family was doing press conferences and saying that our sons is not a bad person, that we're good people, please don't threaten us, please don't do this and stuff like that. Everybody was cursing them out. Oh, how dare you do a press conference? How dare you? You have this person on trial, speaking up for you. You're making it to an ace issue. You're doing this, you're doing that, right? The reason why he got 35 years is because the family had a press conference where you have these kids doing interviews, right? Talking to the press. Their families going out talking and giving their own interpretation. So it's okay for them to do what Kamala Anthony couldn't do. It's about bullshit. That's how I
Wow.
feel about it.
Wow. So what do you think about Cyrus when they say that he had a gun that he was pointing at the guy or whatever?
Sorry, TikTok.
Oh,
What I
sorry.
think about, well, no, that's okay. You can do it. TikTok was already restricted the live anyway. But as soon as we started talking about it, I think every time it sees your face, they restrict my
They
live.
say well, I think it's very important that people should understand Thursday night is not for everybody.
Yes, it's not. It's not.
By
Let's stop
design,
this
this
argument.
show is supposed to be confrontational by
Yes,
design. So
yes.
this is a year, we've been going a year probably.
I don't know if we had it on an anniversary yet, but if we do, we have
All
to look
right.
back.
So
Please, I'm trying to look
people that don't know the show,
anniversary because I want something special from you, sir. So that's good. So you have to look up our anniversary, post it. I want to thank you. Post specifically for me, especially when you were funny talking about me earlier, and I want to
yeah,
continue
yeah.
on. Continue on.
No, so what do you think about the young fella 14? He had a gun pointing at the
Here's
guy.
something.
What is your philosophy on that?
Unfortunately, I've done this work for a lot of years. You know, I'm a gun violence prevention
Right.
advocate for over 13 years. Right now, I'm no longer hold that position as survivor lead for New York State. Right now, I'm retired for that, but I'm still a volunteer for an organization called Moms Demand Action for Gun System America. So it's a tragedy that the young man actually had a pew pew. Obviously, he either had an illegal or he stole it. But at the end of the day, we're being told, based on what I heard, that he came to the store, he went to get water. That's what we was told. He didn't take out the pew pew and threaten the man or the son. They were upset because they felt that he stole water. When they started yelling at him, he dropped the bag. When he dropped the bag, he started running, right? They chased after him. I'm not 100% sure if the pew-pew fell after they pew-pewed him in the back or if he dropped it as he was running. But at the end of the day, he did not turn and point the pew-pew at the father or the son. You understand what I'm saying? So there is no reason to unalive a 14-year-old kid that's trying to run away from an incident. That's a coward. The father is a coward. The son is a coward. The whole family is a coward. In fact, that whole area should make sure that that family move away. Move away. Because apparently the lawyer that covered for them, apparently his wife is Asian and he's black. And he's the only one that took the case where everybody was like, no, we're not touching this case. But he's so emboldened with his Asian wife that he felt that he had to get them out. So yes, so y'all all move out and move to Florida somewhere where they could appreciate your efforts. Because you on the life of a 14-year-old kid that wasn't putting your life in danger.
Wow. Yeah.
They were wrong.
It's a tough case.
Yes, it was. So that's what I'm saying. So we are passionate about two cases back to back, and now you have Nolan, which is if they are telling the truth, it's supposed to have been a very simple situation. It should have been a very simple situation. Hey, we're here. Our friend is missing. Oh my God, he drowned. This is a tragedy. We want to all come together and help the family deal. From the very beginning, we lawyered up. We don't know what happened. We don't know who saw him last. We don't know. Oh, Katie saw him. No, I did. The friend saw him. No, I didn't. He said that he was going to another boat, but he kept. We got his phone. Oh, we deleted his messages. The whole thing is nasty. So now we can't ask any questions, right? Because we by us asking questions, we threatening the livelihood of these young males who left their friend on an island. Now, I don't think they should be threatened. I don't think their family should be.
You think they wait a minute? I gotta slow you down sometimes.
They left the friend on the island.
So you think they left the guy on the island, or was he on the boat? Oh, so you don't think he was on the boat?
You are now making me think. Prior to our conversation,
so I'm making you think something.
That there was something else going on because of that video, that recording. I'm talking about. You asked me about my initial reaction. Now we have the recording. Now everything is shifting. Initially, I thought that they left him on the island for whatever reason, right?
Okay.
And they're supposed to be his friends. And if to me, we are taught, at least a lot of Black brothers and sisters and mothers that raise our kids, we thought if you go out with your friends, you come back with your friends. That's what we are taught. So a lot of us were concerned from the beginning, like, yeah, why would he stay behind? Like, it doesn't make sense. And then after that, we started talking about that. Why would he stay behind without his phone? That doesn't make sense. There was a lot of things about this story that didn't make sense. And also, if your friend is missing, why didn't you call the parents? Why did the parents' friend have to track down his phone? That didn't make sense, right? Why did the father have to go to the house and get his car after you found out that he was missing? Why didn't you go see the parents? Why didn't you return the car? Why did you lawyer up? Why is the judge talking? It was just too much stuff adding up that it got nasty.
Right.
At the end of the day, here's even the biggest thing for me.
What's
the mother was raised in that community. She went to school with some of the parents. What was it that happened that the mother felt that she could not get justice from the community that she was raised and went to school? Why did she feel that she had to go outside to get justice? Right? We as parents, I'm not sure, we never talked whether you have a kid or I have two sons. Like, we as parents, we know how it feels when something happened to our kids or our family members, especially our kids. We know when we getting bullshit or we're not, when we getting help or we're not. Why did Miss Christine feel that she couldn't get justice from her own town? Why did she need to go outside? Why? She can't. She's not coming across to me as she felt that is an ACEs. She and her husband both said it's not. They believe it's not an ACEs issue. They said that, but they said something happened to our child. We want answers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now we can't listen to the mom. Now the mom, we can't listen to the mom, and that's another thing with this TS kid that pissed me off. The ATO that was threatening the people that because we're talking about it. He's talking about how I feel bad for the mom, but she made it worse because she bought a binging club. How dare you? You're not even his friend. We found out that you probably met him in college. You over here claiming to be his best friend, and his mother don't even know you. How dare you think that you have the right to criticize his mom because she wants to bring in somebody else to solve the, and you're supposed to be his best friend, and you have the nerve to go on with the officer T to criticize the mom? It's all of this bullshit. It's the entitlement bullshit that's happening with these kids and their family that has us concerned. It should have been a simple case. Simple case.
So listen, let me ask you this, and then I'm going to break down something for everybody to show you something. But let me ask you this: the fact that they're asking people to come forward and offering money, is that an indication that they don't really have much as far as Crump?
I think that they have. There's two things. Is either political. It's either political, which means that somebody's covering ass, right? Or because we know this, well, I know this because I've been in politics for a long time. Either they cover an ass, or something happened that they have something that they need additional evidence to prove either way. Because to me, Mel, if it was a simple drowning incident, it wouldn't go this far, Mel. It wouldn't go this far. If it was a simple drowning incident and they felt sure after the autopsy and everything, it should have been even if we, how many times have we been uproared as a community because we felt the police officer, the sheriff got it wrong? It would have been a press conference, maybe the governor, maybe some of the local representative with the family, and we were like, look, we're so sorry. I know the community is gonna, be angry, but we did everything we can, and we believe that it was a tragic accident. May we continue to support the family. I've been in politics for years. I've been in press conferences. I stood next to survivors. I tell people all the time, I'm hurt in this thing. I've been through all of this before several times. You understand what I'm saying? I've sat with survivors when they spoke to detectives. I heard survivors cry when detectives said that this happened or we can't find. I have survivor friends who never find who unalive their children. That's the work I've been doing for many years. So I know what could come out. They could come out. I'm so sorry. We did an investigation. We found there was nothing there. Unfortunately, he drowned. I know this is not what you guys want to hear. Let's hold the family in the prayers and move on. Why didn't they do that? Why are they not doing that? And now I'm hearing the W kid father apparently put out $50,000 in order to get additional information for what? Why are we doing that? Are we doing it because we think something happened? Are we doing it to cover our kids behind? Are we doing it to say, hey, by the way, I want the truth too? What the hell are we doing? The truth should be simple. Why are we still on this story if something else didn't happen?
Right. Do you think he's offering 50,000 because he wants the case solved?
I think he's offering 50,000 because he feels that his son said something that he was uncomfortable with. I feel that because the 50,000 came after that recording came out, right? I think he think the 50,000 by him doing that he is showing that his family didn't have anything to do with it, and it's possible. Because I'm not accusing his son of anything, because we ain't trying to be defame anybody. But I just think it seemed very interesting that he is now trying to do the $50,000, and a lot of different narratives is coming out about Nolan after this recording came out. I found it interesting because nobody was doing all of this before. Now all of a sudden this recording come out. Now we hearing all kind of different stuff. So I find it particularly interesting myself.
So listen, let me ask you this question. I know guys in the street that sometimes they want to go to trial so they know who the witnesses are, right? You know that, right?
Of course.
Okay, so do you think I'm just asking you random questions, nothing particular. Do you think he's offering money, right?
Who's gonna come out and
to see who's going to tell the story? You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think the father is doing it in order to show that because he heard it's being alleged that his son name is being used on that video, on that recording, that he's trying to come out and say, hey, we want the truth too. We're trying to help also with the truth and everything like that. We want the truth. So don't look here, because we want the truth. How many family members have underlined? There was a case, Mel, and it was one of the most tragic case I've ever seen and it was a legitimate case where this stepfather, right? The stepfather came on, because there's always these various, cases that, they show follow up, video documentary. They had a video of the stepfather coming out. He looked really crazy with kind of like curly hair and stuff like that, saying that his stepdaughter disappeared in the middle of the night. I don't know if you know this case. I can't remember the exact name, but I remember the story because it got me so upset. The stepdaughter disappeared in the middle of the night. The daughter's wife was with him, and she's crying and stuff like that. He's like, I really want to know what happened to my stepdaughter, blah, blah, blah. It took his son, because that was his stepdaughter, right? It took his biological son to come out and say that the father did this to the daughter, right? He wrapped her up, put her in the back of the trunk. He made the son get up and get in the car, and the father drove and put the girl somewhere. And it was the son that testified and said that my father did it to my sister. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And this guy came out and cried. You know how many people have come out and cried in our very faces to say that they want to find their wife, and they want to find their kids, and and they are the perpetrator. So you want us to believe, right? Without hearing any of the evidence at the sheriff, without seeing the autopsy report, without hearing what because it's going through
the toxicology.
The toxicology. It also is going through a court case right now. You want us to sit here and listen to all these people without seeing any evidence to tell them, don't look here. We had nothing to do with it. That y'all doing too much. Y'all making an ace issue. You question our credibility. You want us to sit here and just believe y'all without seeing a thing? And now you have the recording right now, and you're wondering why everybody is freaking out and trying to figure out what happened to this young man? Come on, man.
Stop. Based on everything you know so far, is there anything that would point to foul play by anybody on any said boat? Is there any solid proof?
To me, the fact that he left from the very beginning, I question everything. I'm just not willing to say what happened. I think that it's possible. It could have possibly been an issue after the fact. It's possible that something happened to Nolan and stuff like that. And then because they're aware of it, they're witnesses, they got scared. So it could be negligent. It could be cover up. So, but for me, from the moment they said that Nolan did not have his phone, I thought it was bull to me. Now, a lot of people was like, oh, you don't understand because you don't go. I just came from Bali. We went on a waterfall. Everybody in that waterfall had their phones in their hands, and we went under the waterfall. I took videos. I live streamed all the way till the waterfall. I had to give my friend the phone to walk when I got in the water. I had the phone in my hand when I went to the smaller waterfall because I wanted to videotape myself. So yeah, I could understand people saying, "Oh, we were 3 foot of water. We put our phone in so we don't get." So I didn't do it. I carry my phone everywhere, but I get it. Okay, I'm crazy. I'm different, right? But when you guys told him and he said that he was going to stay behind, it never made sense to me why he didn't take his phone. It never made sense to me. But let's just say they were all right. He left his phone. Maybe he forgot the phone and stuff like that. They took the phone. It never made sense to me that the mom had to go look for his phone. It never made sense. The whole phone situation bothered me. And when I found out that the phone had deleted messages, that was it for me. I'm like, okay, now I need to know what's going on with this case.
Okay, so let me interject. I could actually pull it up for you if you want me to. Actually, let me do it. Let's do it this way. Let's get a video going while we're here.
Okay.
I'm going to show you, and we're going to build the argument. That's what this show is supposed to be. We're supposed to be going back and forth, right? So
yes, and
let's go back and forth. Most people don't know that though. So anyway, let me find this video. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to show you why he didn't have his phone on him.
I know why.
Okay.
Now. You have to
I
show.
know, but I wanna show you.
Okay.
This is content, right? So
Okay, go ahead.
here we go.
All
I
right.
was given this video,
Oh Lord.
and here's a video of the actual boat
Wrong video. Let's see if I can find the right one. Anyway, we could show this. You
as
you
they're getting.
watch my show about this, right?
Yes, at the person, that the hat, the pants, everything. And you know something? Did you notice that the necklace? Did you notice that the necklace was the same necklace that Nolan had?
Right. They had matching red beads, correct?
Yes, I thought that it
Okay.
wasn't matching. Did they both have it on the same picture at the same time? Because I don't remember the other kid having the matching beads on the photo that they showed the day on the 4th of July. Did he have a bead on him too?
There you go. Red and red.
All right.
Matching.
Okay. Thank you.
Does
Thank you. Thank you.
that answer your question?
Yeah.
Any more questions? I'm good now. I'll bring
Oh
it
no,
up
no.
for
I
you.
wanted to see because I didn't see the matching bead because you could tell it's red on
Do
him.
you see
but you
Nolan on?
can't tell.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. You could tell it was red on him, just like the pants. You couldn't tell exactly the color to me. So I'm glad you showed it. But go ahead, continue.
But his pants don't match. On
No,
this day, he has on orange pants,
yep.
right?
And then
On
that,
this day,
Whatsoever.
we don't
yeah,
have a guy with orange pants on. You see this?
Now,
I know.
All
And
right.
the hat, you
So
talk about the hat too and everything. But go ahead.
I mistakenly pulled up that video. Let me see. I need to pull up a video to show you what I want to show you here. 1 second. I have so much information here. So let's see if I can find it. Maybe I can't. Anyway, you should continue talking. I'll figure this out here in a minute.
No. That's it. I said at the end of the day, I just felt that right now we are what, the 30th day. Right, we're on the 30th day. It happened on the 4th or the 5th, and that's another thing now
Oh,
that
you know what?
bothers me. Why don't they have? Why are they not consistent on the actual date something happened to him? Why is people saying, oh, something could have happened to him on the 5th or 6th? That they don't have a defining date? Did they ever say that it happened to him on the 4th? Because I've heard that because he was missing for 2 days, it doesn't. They don't know the exact time that he was unalived.
Right. Yeah, because they're basing it on the toxicology report. I have the video now. Let me see if I can bring it up for you. Give me 1 second here.
Yes, please.
I want to show you the reason why they had their cell phones on the boat. Okay. I mean, I want to be honest and show things the proper way because I don't push narratives. Okay. And I know you don't either. So here we go.
Right.
So you see this here?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take all this stuff down. Give me 1 second. I have to remove the media here. 1 second. I'm going to show you why he didn't have his cell phone on him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me take down the comments. Give me 1 second. Oh my goodness, this is a lot. Let's see here. Let's take this comment down. Okay, there we go. And let's get rid of the comments here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right, so I want you to watch this short.
Okay.
Now we don't have sound. Jeez.
On the left-hand side, I think.
Let's see what happened.
Oh, here we go. This video is circulating.
Thank you.
Anyway, if you look at the boy in the blue shorts.
So you see in the background, Nolan is up in the water up to his neck. How can he have a cell phone? Right? So it makes sense. Look, this is his boat right here. This is the Triton.
Yep.
And I'm going to show you that there's some weirdness going on with the boats. There's some switcheroos going on because there's 3 boats coming in, but then going back, there's a boat that we don't hear about. Anyway, you see he's in the water. So it would make sense that these people, watch as I play this.
Right where his butt is at.
Mm-hmm.
You move over at the edge of the boat in his butt, and that's actually Nolan's standing in the water right there.
Right here.
I'm going to have the team play the video and pan it so you can see what environment they were in.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, when the boat began to sink. Roll the clip.
See, these people can't really have their cell phone in the water this deep. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, this would explain, and they're probably, see, a lot of us think that they were hanging out on the island probably the whole time, but for a measure, they're probably right here in the water. So
Okay.
the boat is right here. So it makes sense to just, take your phone or leave it in the boat. So that part I don't struggle with now that I have more information is what I'm saying.
So here's the question, right? Because I didn't say that he could not have not left the boat in the car. I said, why didn't he have the phone in his hand when he decided allegedly to stay on the island. That's what I said. I say I personally would
Right.
have the phone in my hand because I was in pool. If you look at my phone, you look at me in the pool in Bali. I was this. You see, there's a lot of pictures of me in Bali in a pool.
Okay.
There's a lot of pictures of me in Bali in the pool. I was taking pictures of the water's here. The water's here. I was taking pictures. You understand what I'm saying? So we do that. We actually take pictures of ourselves, selfies in the pool, right? Sometimes it's crazy. You gotta be very careful when we do that. But at the end of the day, I'm not arguing why he left the phone. I'm saying why he put the phone was in the boat, the boat, because they say all the kids do it because they don't want to get the phone wet. I'm saying that when he decided to stay, why did the phone leave him behind?
Do
Why
you think that's true though? Do you think he actually made a decision to stay?
that is where we are today. I'm talking about
Or
before.
if he got back on the boat, I get what you're saying, but if he got back on the
If
boat,
we
some
got
people,
back on the boat, then we have a situation with the recording that's showing that it's a possibility that he got back on the boat, or somehow he was unalived on the boat. You know, because I even said, I think I put a text to you the other day on your live. I said, Mel, did you ever consider? I don't know if you saw what I wrote on the text. Did you ever consider that as a possibility that when the boat left, he swam and tried to catch the boat, right? And something happened to him. They pulled him on the boat. Unfortunately, he wasn't alive, and that's why all of that situation happened. So
that's a narrative people want us to believe.
I'm not saying it's the truth. I said
I
I
get it.
asked you: Is
I get it.
was it ever considered? Now, based on what you're showing and what you're telling me, and based on the recording, I am now less inclined to believe that he stayed on the island. But just based on something recent. But until I see all the evidence, I can't 100% make any statement. I just know that something happened to this kid, and we don't know what happened. That's what I know. But if this
So listen, real quick,
true,
I
that's
get what you're saying. Chaotic Truth always lets me on his show, so I want to let him up. So
okay.
this link is only for Chaotic Truth. So I'm going to drop it for you. You can come up. All right. So at any rate, okay. So before we get into this whole breakdown, so again, what I was asking you, do you see any indication that something nefarious happened to him?
The answer to the questions that I feel that there's no clear answer. I can't say. I think that something happened to him, but I don't know if it was intentional or not. That's my problem with it. It could have simply been an accident. However, they were so scared that they're covering up, and sometimes the cover up is worse than the crime. So I don't know if someone intentionally did something to him, but I don't think that it was a clear cut. Based on everything I'm seeing, they haven't proved to me that it was a clear cut drowning, right? Without any cover up. You see what I'm saying? That's how I
Right.
feel about it. I think something is wrong with this case, but we don't know what it is, and that's why we're asking questions.
Right. I think trouble is on the way, though. If nobody gets charged, there's going to be some issues. All right, Chaotic, what's happening? Talk to us.
Nothing much, man. I have covered the Nolan Wells case. Today, I want to say today was and shout out to you. Today was I think my third show covering, and I covered the Nancy Grace, Officer Tatum interview.
Right.
And I was 19 before. I went to a PWI, predominantly white institution, and we got drunk, man. I to this day I still ask myself how am I still alive after some legendary nights of partying? And I hung around whites. I was never a Nolan Wells. I was never like that type of black, but I hung around a lot of whites. And I'm not saying that my experiences or everybody's experience. But if they really wanted to harm you, they probably wouldn't even want to. You couldn't even get that close to them, to be honest with you. Nolan grew up supposedly with these boys. Nolan was in photos with these boys, with these whites, and he seemed very, very comfortable around these whites. I mean, hell, he might as well have been a white person, to be honest with you. And unfortunately, kids, man, they get drunk, man. They get high, they do drugs, and you could black out and start walking and not even know. You can really go into autopilot and not even know what you are doing. And I'm willing to believe that happened. That is what happened. He got drunk, he left the group, he may have went to another party of people, wandered off, hit his head, and died. I don't believe that there was any foul play, at all. And the nastiness of Al Sharpton, race, he's selling racism. Ben Crump selling racism, and so many other people to sell racism is disgusting. It's disgusting to do it. I don't want to be too long-winded, but are you familiar with a fire sale?
Break it down.
So in business or in finance, a depreciating asset or product, if it
you're saying fire sale.
Fire
You're talking about a
so
sale in your
they
body.
They want to get as much money out of this asset as possible. So racism is or has always been an asset of many people, of college campuses, artists, poets, professors, singers. It's always been an asset to sell, And I gotta change my battery real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. So it's always been an asset to sell. And I believe that the media and so many people are trying to sell a depreciated asset, which is racism. They can't sell it anymore. Nobody's buying the slave movie bullshit anymore. A lot of people going to college now. They're not really, they're more into the stems now. Nobody wants to hear about these depression slave narrative stories. It's not selling. It's not hitting anymore. We have so much access to information now. We can look up the biographies and histories of so many people. There's a lot of people who don't know that Maya Angelou was a prostitute and she was a sex trafficker. And she couldn't sell sex anymore, so she started selling racism later in life. But she married 3 white men. And so a lot of people are getting hip to a lot of this stuff going. A lot of people are getting hip to this hustle that has been going on for a very, very long time within this country. And Nolan Wells, like many other stories, like the Jesse Smollett and the Carly Russell stories, we don't exactly know what is going on here. It could be a hoax. It could be an over-exaggeration. It could be so many things going on with this case, but I know for a fact the media wants to sell this. They want to make money off of this. Crump wants to make money off of this. They want to imply that this was some sort of racist event to only make money. And this is disgusting. If that makes any sense to you, brother. Go ahead, sir.
So, yeah, I would love to hear, what is your interpretation of the audio?
It sounded muffled. For all we know, it could be AI. Again, I have no idea. I heard the audio earlier. The power of suggestion, Nancy Grace saying, oh, he said that. They said it. Didn't you hear it, Brandon Tatum? The power of suggesting something can get you into admitting something that may not even be true. So I don't know. I have no idea. They want to imply that the boy was on the boat and he had already died or he had already been going through something. But we just don't know. We don't know. So
Right.
let's say he was on the boat. Let's say he did there was some sort of accident on the boat. It still wasn't a racist event. And that's my biggest argument. Now, if it was an accident on the boat and they panicked and they threw him over and okay, that's a whole other story. But it wasn't racism. It wasn't racism. They were all friends and buddies. Yeah.
But if let's say he was, because in the background you do hear some type of gibberish going on. So let's say, for instance, he
Yeah.
did die on the boat. How would he have gotten on the shore for Monday morning?
Good question. I couldn't tell you with any degree of accuracy. Everything that I would say would just be theory and conjecture. But many things can be possible. You know, we just need more of an investigation, I guess.
Right. No, I totally get that. I'll let Mama Flips get in. I want to show you something though, and I want to get your viewpoint before I have Mama Flips jump in. I want to show you this real quick, and thank you for dropping in. I'm always dropping in on you, so this is awesome, man. Great channel, everybody. Tell everybody what your channel is so they can check you out.
Chaotic Truth Live.
Okay. All right. So here we have it. I just want to get your take. You see here?
Yeah.
This is the full video that at the beginning. Well, no, it's not the full one right here. Let's see if I could find it. But in there, they're actually releasing this entire video, WLOX News, and they're releasing it from the MDMR. And I'm trying to find in the version that they released, they actually have that part that first is clouded by the music that's playing, the on hold music. And then it starts, they cut the music when the person starts talking to Wyatt. So the whole full video is put out by the local news that came from the MDMR. What would be your thoughts on them taking the liability of putting out an AI video?
Well, there's always going to be a liability if you're caught.
Right.
But for all we know, man, everybody can be in on it, man. I don't know. I mean, there is major liability with that. But you yourself even said that it's muffled. So I guess if you were to close your eyes, would you have really heard that? Right? Would you have really heard his name? You know, had they not put the caption on the screen.
So I'll give you a little background. I enhanced the video and I started telling people about it before anybody really discovered this. When the first person reached out to me and said, "Hey, did you check out the video?" I enhanced it. I pulled the music off and then I listened to the words. Now I disagree with some of the things that people are saying, but there's certain things that I hear without a shadow of a doubt. Now, this is just my interpretation.
Yeah.
But when you play the actual video, in fact, I want to do you a solid here. I haven't really done this for anybody, but I'll do it for you. Let's see here. I want to pull this up really quick. I'll see if I can get this going for you. I don't know which one it is here. No, I think it's this one. Give me 1 second. I want to pull it up for you. But in the audio, you hear a girl say, "Is he dead?"
I heard that.
Right off the beginning, the guy says, "Oh shit, Nolan," and then somebody says something like "breathing." Is he breathing or whatever? And then a girl says, "Is he dead?" Like, how do you? Actually, I don't know how long you're going to be here, but this would probably be a good time. Instead of me playing the audio, I want to break down something for you here because I think you could actually use this tomorrow if you want to, but I think it'll be a good thing. It shouldn't take me that long. I do want to I want Mama Flips. I know she's dying to get with you on this too, but I want to, Mama Flips, you want to say something before I break it down?
Nope.
Okay. All right, cool.
I want to be polite.
All right, cool. We respect that. All right. So this is basically between me and you then, okay? Mama
Got it.
Flips, we get it. Okay, so
Get it?
I, wa-
Do we get it? Do we get it? Do we get it? What do you think I'm going to say to this young man?
I don't want. I'm having nightmares right now just thinking about what's gonna
What,
come out of
what
your
do you
mouth.
think I
So
want to say
so
to the
this
young man?
it's okay. It's okay.
Let's pause this for a second.
No, we're not
We're going to
tonight's. Come on. I want.
say that acism is not in America, in my opinion, is being disingenuous. Okay, as a black female in New York who
Oh
has
my
to deal with
God.
racism all the time in New York, and I'm 58 years old. I don't know how old this young man, for him to actually come on our live and try to explain to us about.
Can you expand this, Mel?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hold
Okay.
hold up. Disrespect Maya Angelou, okay, in front of a black woman's face, okay, as if women that wasn't great, right, during slavery, and women didn't have to use their bodies in order to survive in America, right? To use Maya Angelou, who became a legend for her poetry and her writing work, to undermine and disrespect her in front of a black woman is disgusting. And then for you as a dark-skinned black male, because I don't even understand if you identify as a black man at all, to come on a black person show and try to tell me that acism is not even here in America anymore, like we delusional. For you to disrespect the family of Nolan Wells, to actually imply, because they reached out to Al Sharpton and Ben Crump that they're using the death of the son, because that's the implication. You may not have meant to say it, but that's an implication that could be seen from your words, that their tragedy, their loss of their loved one, because they want to find out the truth, is being used as a money grab. Because that's exactly what they said about Cassie and all of them. Every tragedy that black people go through, we're using that as an example of a money grab. For you to actually come here and say these words with a smile on your face without even considering.
Okay, so
people that you have in the excuse me, Mel. Excuse me,
we're losing people. We're losing people.
No, Mel, it's okay, Mel. It's okay.
They could be gone. They could be gone.
Okay.
No. That's not a good. That's not good. It's not good.
That was gonna be nice, but the thing is, for people has to be conscious of other people in the panel. They have to be respectful of other people in the panel, because there is no way I'm coming on a black panelist and make a joke about a legend, right? Or even imply with a smile on your face that all the tragedies that we've gone through in the world is a joke, that is no longer here. That acism, we live in a loving environment, right? And that our experiences, our pain is no longer in place today. That is all history. You see, that's what I heard.
Was Maya Angelou? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Was she not a hoe or not? She wrote about being a prostitute. I mean, was she not a hoe?
And her being a hoe means what to you, sir?
It means that she was. It means she couldn't. Well, let me answer you.
Her being a hoe couldn't.
May I answer you? May I answer you?
She couldn't have.
Let him get in. Come on, we gotta let him get in.
Ma'am, may I answer you? You just said okay.
So that means that
her being a hoe has everything to do with Nolan Wells and what's going on in this country. She couldn't sell pussy at her old age, so she started selling racism poetry. And she started making it seem like there's all this racism in the country, despite the fact that she was married to 3 white men throughout the course of her life. How bad was it? She's married to 3 white men. 3 white men tearing that pussy up, and she couldn't sell pussy anymore. She was a sex trafficker, and she wrote about it. She wrote biographies about it.
3 white men?
Ma'am, she wrote 3
No, let's talk about it. You want to bring 3 white
How racist could the country be? She married 3 white guys.
Like that pussy though, right? The 3 white men had like that pussy.
Yeah, that's okay. Hence the reason why there's no racism.
She used it.
Hence the reason why there's no racism.
She became a legend. She told us our story. She told our story as black women and the struggle that we have to go to.
You didn't go through any struggle, ma'am.
Her. And then you telling me so not because you allegedly.
Ma'am, you didn't go through any struggle.
I believe you anyway. But let's just.
You didn't.
Was a prostitute. So you mean she couldn't elevate them from that? She
no.
So
for the same.
She died of prostitute, right?
She's a prostitute.
And she died a prostitute.
Yeah, she died an old prostitute.
I hope every female family member of your family didn't have a background like that. I hope they all left. I hope they all
they'd be prostitutes.
They all lived a racist life. Because you're a
I don't know if they did or didn't. I don't know shit. I don't know if they did or didn't. But I'm not about to sit up here.
If they did, then they lower in your esteem, right? We should make fun of them, right? We should make fun of all.
No, I wasn't making fun of Maya Angelou.
No,
I was making
fun of Maya because you came in here.
I was not. Was she not a prostitute? Was she not a hoe?
Grinning. You came in here grinning.
I can't laugh. I can't grin.
You can't disparage.
I'm not allowed to grin. Okay, how about this?
Disparagingly, I would think that you should at least take it
I'll frown.
I think you should take it seriously when you're disparaging somebody.
No, how am I disparaging her? She wrote about herself being a hoe.
And she wrote about the fact that she was.
She wrote it. I didn't make it up.
She also wrote about her being assaulted as a child.
Okay, so what?
Oh, exactly. So what? Exactly.
So what?
So what? Exactly.
She lives in the greatest. She lives in the greatest country on the planet.
I can't take you seriously. You're male friend. I can't take you seriously. I can't. You see, somebody that I can't take. I can't have a reasonable conversation with you.
What racism did you go through? How about this? What racism did you go through?
I'm a former Marine veteran. In the Marine.
Oh, so the Marines allowed you to be a Marine, and there was no racism. So no racism stopped you from joining the military.
There was racism in the military.
You still joined the military, right? The military still.
I was 17 and a half years old when I joined the military. I had racism at the job. I had racism in my advocacy life. I had racism in the Marine Corps. I had racism all over the place. Let me tell you a true story. You
shouldn't have been in the military in the first place.
Marine. Let me tell you a story. When I was a Marine, all right? I was a Marine and I was marrying my ex-husband, okay? He came down to Meridian, Mississippi, where we were, right? That's where I was going to school. We were going to see, because we were eloping, we were going to see a pastor. Guess what? We got lost, right? We got lost in that little white old town. We knocked 4 doors. Me in my military uniform. 4 doors. Ma'am, can you help us? Slam.
I'd have slammed the door on you.
You would, yeah, because I could see. I could see you slamming the door.
Hell yeah. In the deep south.
In the deep south, military personnel.
You could have been a con artist. You could have been a con artist.
So
how would they know? How would they know that you're actually a legit Marine?
Exactly, because I'm a black woman, right? So how?
No, it's because
it was a white man in a full uniform. You would have opened that fucking door, right?
Oh. Hell no, not unless he was a white guy. Hell no.
You would have smiled. You would have opened the door. You would have smiled. Come on in, sir. Come on in. So how can I help you, sir?
If it was a white dude, I probably.
Yes, they slammed the door in my face. We got
ma'am.
That was racism.
Ma'am.
I had several
Ma'am. You were allowed to be in the military.
Allowed to do nothing. So we don't allow women. We don't allow people to do.
Ma'am.
What? No. Let's change the word allow. Maybe change it. We go through tests. Have you been in the military, sir? Are you in the military? Have you been to the military?
No.
Have you gone to boot camp?
No,
okay.
I never have.
We pass tests, right? We use our intelligence to pass a test, right? Then we get our assignment, and we go to 12 weeks of grueling, right? Training. And it was less so. I had it easier than the current military personnel. We have to pass tests. If we don't, guess what? We fail and we go home. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody gave me nothing. I worked my ass off to be a Marine. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't imply that they gave
what was your MOS?
My MOS at the time was supply. At the time. After that, it became wire. I became a wire person.
So some guy who should have had that job. So the military allowed women to.
I'm a woman, right?
Yes.
Woman, right?
You should be at home cooking and cleaning.
So I should be. What?
You shouldn't even have been in the military. What are you talking about? So you took some guy's spot.
Because you're an idiot.
All right. Okay. So we're not gonna profit.
Mel, let's get this under control.
No, I can say it. I
He's
say
unhinged.
Hold
that's
on,
He's
asking
hold
unhinged.
on.
He's
He's
now I'm an idiot.
Tell
Hold
me
on, hold
that a
on.
woman can
Now I'm
no,
an idiot.
Wait. We gotta
for him
clean
to tell
this.
me in
This is
2026 that women should not be in the military. That
Yes, you should not be there.
crazy. You could go.
I bet.
Military,
You know what? Can I say?
All the females.
Can I say why you
military should
damn near zero?
Died,
you should not be there.
We ain't shit, right? But
hold
the
on,
ma'am,
wait.
Ma'am,
We gotta,
ma'am, you know,
die for their country, right?
ma'am, you know,
I'm asking you know,
you're,
men should die for their country,
ma'am,
right?
ma'am.
Can you answer that question?
I come from a military. Can I talk, please? I come from a military
nobody
family.
in the military is
I
women.
come from a military family. The highest ranked person in my family is my first cousin, and he retired as a major. Listen, ma'am, you were in supply. Nothing wrong with that. But ma'am, you know you got the help of other men when you had to supply armor into a truck. You know that, ma'am.
You don't know nothing about me, sir.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you did.
You don't know anything about me. I didn't have to.
Man, what are you?
Even then, I was a freaking sharpshooter, sir. I was.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Mel, I want to send you my I want to send you my my DD.
so it's more
individual
okay.
That I was a sharpshooter. Several points from an expert, sir. Several points. I'm a veteran, sir. So who the hell are you talking to? I lost my nephew in Iraq, sir.
God.
Who the hell are you talking to, sir?
Why are you talking, ma'am? You're mad at me because I called Maya Angelou a hoe.
You believe in this?
Hold on, guys.
You are mad because I
we gotta bring
Maya...
this back. We gotta bring this back. All right, we gotta bring
ma'am,
back.
thank you.
Remember, hold on.
Dare you?
I get it, but we got to take this back to Nolan Wells. This is getting out of control.
Please.
All right,
this is out of control.
All right. So,
this is crazy.
I was about to say.
Crazy.
All right, let's just bring this back to earth, okay? I want to show you this point here. I want to see what you have to say about it. I'm glad we were able to move on from that. I'm going to use basically the words. So we're going to check out the words of Warren, and he's going to actually tell you at what time. Actually, let's just do this really quick. I'm going to see if I can find this same video that I just showed. I want to show you first what Officer Tatum, because he sets the stage for this. It just takes me a moment to pull it up. So let me just find this particular video from Officer Tatum here. I think it's right here.
Now let me present something.
Okay, so let me pull this over here. I'm going to walk you through this. It shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, okay? And let's try to build on this discussion here. So, let me get it up here. Officer Tatum, right here. Notice what he says. He's going to make an argument in regards to the boat. Now, this boat right here, can you see on? Hold on, let me remove the comment section. Okay. He's going to argue. Now, this boat appears to be the Triton, the boat they allegedly left on. He's going to give attention to Nolan. You see this little head of a black guy with an afro or braids or whatever back here? Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, I'm going to let him lay out his argument.
Something else to you, because this is a video of what it looked like. And Nolan is in this video. So this was sent to us as well. I'm sure this video is circulating anyway. If you look at the boy in the blue shorts.
Right here.
Right where his butt is at. You move over at the edge of the boat in his butt, and that's actually Nolan standing in the water right there. I'm going to have the team play the video and pan it so you can see what environment they were in. Similarly, when the boat began to sink. Roll the clip.
So you can see they're right by the shore, you know, maybe the length of about 5 boats, I would say, okay? But they're in the water.
Pause. Do you guys see how many people are out there? Play it again. Do you guys see how many boats are out there? So this is where the boat is at when they begin to become distressed. Right in this area. As you can see how close they are to the land. You can see where the coordinates were at. Right there. So
now keep in mind, he just said you can see where the coordinates is at, right? That's going to be very important for what I'm about to show you.
When they're taking in water, when their boat is beginning to sink because it's anchored. It's happening right there. So for somebody to believe that this dispatch call is a desperate call with Nolan laying dead in the middle of their boat, that does not make sense. And to think that nobody saw it when they're entangled within all these people, I think is a disservice.
So he's saying it's impossible for them to have taken Nolan's life based on the location and the coordinates of the boat. Is that fair to say? Do you guys agree with that?
Mhm.
That's what his argument is, right?
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you something different. I want to pull this up here. I'm going to show you what Warren had to say as far as where the boat was actually located at. So give me one moment. I'm going to pull this up here. This is what Warren had to say. And this shouldn't take long for me to get through this. So check this out. Warren's going to break down the location of the boat.
Still out there partying and
Correct.
they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So I had a girl come up to me and say, "Hey, your brother just got in a fight." And obviously I have a younger brother, and that's who she was talking about. And I was freaked out. So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody, put my drink down and walked over there. And my brother was kind of angry, and, there was a lot going on, but someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, "Oh, I just got in a fight, and this guy punched me in the face," and I punched him right back. And then went to the ground, and my brother put him in an arm bar. And
was Nolan involved in any of this?
Absolutely not. When I was over there, it was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age. And I mean, Nolan, I never saw Nolan over there.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And, okay, sorry. I just lost my train of thought.
So you get ready to go.
So basically, Tatum has to kind of guide him now because he lost his thoughts.
Oh, there's an issue with the boat.
Okay, yeah.
And this is
Well,
what
this led up to that. That's what I was saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, or a little scuffle. I'm assuming that it was cleared up.
Right.
You got your brother out of that situation, and then how did you find out that this boat is sinking?
Well, I walk back over, and we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I pulled my brother off the beach, and I was just like, "Listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down." I mean, he was calm, but I didn't want anything else to happen, And so once I got back over to the boat, I got on the Triton, and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water.
So Triton is the boat we just saw where Nolan was just on the opposite side of it. You could see his head, right?
Up to the transom. And I was freaked out because I'm good friends with Wyatt, and that was his boat. And, no water's coming out, no access water's coming out. And, it was a big issue because I think the reason was because there were so many people getting on and off the boat. And at some point, the boat was very, very crowded, and there was just a lot of people on. So that it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time, we were out there for a couple hours. The boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater. And so the motor wouldn't trim down. I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it'd trim down, and then it'd come right back up. And so Wyatt's trying to throw a rear anchor, so we're caught, and he's, yelling at people. Everybody's kind of freaking out. And eventually I'm yelling at other people, trying to tell them, calm down. The boat could possibly sink, and I'm not paying attention to everyone around me. I was paying attention to my buddy's boat. And that's what all my other friends that were on that boat were doing, trying to solve the problem.
So you're on the boat now. The water is getting up to the point where the boat may be disabled.
All right, so this is the key part.
Where you couldn't get it out.
Correct.
From Horn Island. So what happens after that?
Wyatt jumps in the water, tries to throw a rear anchor, and my buddy Meyer you're sitting looking, trying to pull trash out the bilge, and the bilge is basically.
So we have Warren, we have Wyatt, and we have Elise Bart trying to solve the problem. That's the key point.
A pump that pulls the water, the excess water out the boat. So the bilge was failing to work. So any excess water was just sitting in the boat. It wasn't getting pumped out. And I looked over the gunnel and I looked at the release hole for the bilge, and it was even with the water. So, I mean, we're all freaking out. All of our, we're not focused on anything else other than the boat. Well, then eventually my buddy Bart on the tide line is like, I'm going to pull y'all out to where we're out of all this, all this chaos. Cause we left.
Okay. So he made the argument that the boat was right there. Nothing could have happened to Nolan because the boat's right by the shoreline. So now he's saying that his buddy actually towed the boat out. Notice how far.
4:30, and there were still just as many people there, if not more than when we got there. I mean, probably around the same amount. I mean, it was crazy. Like, there was a lot of people. And I mean, eventually Bart pulls us out. We left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out.
So see, they were pulled out a quarter of a mile. So that kills Tatum's argument that, there's no way he could have been, something happened to him right by the shore. Okay. Now we're going to see when the call was made. Okay. This is very important.
And we had the towing strap pulled from, Bart's port side cleat or starboard side cleat. And he was on our starboard side bow. And so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned around, pulled up next to our boat, and we were just trying to get it situated. So that's when Wyatt called Cito.
So Wyatt called Cito after they've been towed out a quarter of a mile. Okay, you guys are with me, right?
Yeah.
So you shouldn't, when this call commenced, you shouldn't be hearing Nolan in the background. Is he dead? You shouldn't be hearing any of that, right?
Exactly.
Now, he said they were towed out a quarter of a mile, right? Now I want to show you guys something else, okay? This is very important, and then I'll open it back up to you guys. I want you to check out, this is not the one. Let's see. Here we go. So let's check this out. Watch this. This is going to show us the GPS route of the boat, okay? And there's a key point here because it's going to tell us where they actually were, how far they were actually towed out. I actually saw this earlier on, and today it dawned on me that we could actually pinpoint everything down. So we're going to go back up here a little bit. Okay, so we probably have 2 minutes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Left from.
Let me go back a little bit. Sorry.
Obtained this from a Mississippi entity, and it actually shows exactly where the boat.
So up here is where this road El Camino is, right here.
Okay.
So they have to come out here into the bay and down. They're just showing what the boat did throughout the day. I want to go back here. If you look at this first block, it tells you on July the 4th, 2026, the vessel, it tells you could actually line this up on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
It departs at 9:56 from El Camino Road. Tatum was actually able to have us see the actual video of them getting on the boat.
Okay.
And we could pull up that video, but I'm not going to do all that tonight. I'll set you free.
Exactly where the boat left from when it arrived at.
And this is from the MDMR. This is official information here.
Horn Island. You're seeing, as that scrolls down on your screen there, you're seeing that July 4th, that tracking movement, the vessel reaching Horn Island around 11:14 a.m.
All right, so that it left at 9 something. It arrives here on Horn Island, the west, northern western, same boat. Okay, keep going.
And then we also see when the boat left. Now, as we've been reporting, Nolan Wells was not on that boat, although his keys and phone were. And so we see the boat then go and actually dock.
So at 17:44, it leaves, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it arrives, at 17:44, it actually arrives back at El Camino.
Yeah,
okay.
That's 5:44. Yeah, and they're supposed to have left at 4:30.
But notice what it says here. It says the vessel at 16:31 departs the west tip of Horn Island. It says the vessel was towed approximately 2.75 miles. It was not towed a quarter of a mile. And so what I did was I put in the GPS coordinates that he actually states on the phone. And when you pull up that coordinates, it's exactly 2.7 miles.
So you're saying that they were closer, they were
He
further out?
he was way further out than a quarter of a mile. That's all I'm saying about it. As far as how this is lining up, I didn't realize that we actually have it from CBS because they put together this whole chart that came from the MDMR. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So Officer Tatum is saying, "Oh, all of this happened right by the shore." But in actuality, this guy sat on his couch and told him, well, we were told far out, he said a quarter of a mile, but we have the GPS data that this told, because I was wondering, everybody keeps saying, well, Cito never told him, so how was he told, right?
Yeah.
Well, the GPS picked it up when the other guy told him, and the GPS tracked it to exactly where they actually stopped midstream. Okay, and that's when this call is made. So the call to Cito was made after they're out 2.75 miles. That's all. So Cito, so there's no way Nolan can be in the picture, obviously. But
No.
this tightens it up. So what do you guys think about this? Based on what Tatum said, um, I don't. If you want me to pull up the audio from Nancy Grace from last 2 nights ago, I think she has the clearest version. If you need to hear it again, but in the background, somebody's saying Nolan, is he dead or don't die? All of this stuff is happening. So how do you put all this together? Is what I'm asking. How do you guys answer that? You're 2.7 miles out right there. Do you got? Let me just put it back up for a second. Let's see here. Sorry. So you're 2.7 miles out, and people are yelling, Nolan, Nolan. Now, Tatum already, he didn't realize or remember what the guy told him. The guy said, listen, we were told out a quarter of a mile, but it's actually almost 3. So go ahead.
I don't know, man. I can't tell you what the hell is going on here.
Well, I mean, I'm
It's
giving
all
you,
yeah.
I'm dropping the hard, I'm giving you what we have as verified. The GPS should be accurate
Yeah.
because he's saying, oh, we were told out a quarter of a mile. The bottom line is when that call was made, it wasn't right in front of where all these people are getting on the boat, which Tatum is trying to tell everybody. They were way out there. What caused them to go out there and then call at that point? After they were told, if the guy told them 2.7 miles, why couldn't it was only 10-mile trek? So why didn't he just tow them all the way back to the house? Were you guys quiet? Come on, let's go.
Well, you already know my feelings. I think there's something
Well, that's it. Go
goofy about
ahead.
the whole situation anyway. So I've already told you that it was if the recording is true, right? And Nolan is on that boat, right? They trying to imply that, oh, if we heard Nolan's name, it could have been because he's close to the island. They could have been talking to him. If he was on that boat and it was 2.5 miles, something could have happened on that boat because there is no other explanation because they keep saying 7 people are there, 7 people are on the boat and stuff like that. So what happened to Nolan? Because there's no and another thing that
Well,
I want to
well,
say is that they said that it was treacherous. They keep saying there was initially when it was reported, they said that the possibility that the reason why he drowned is because it was a high tide or low tide or rip tide, right? So if if he's on that boat, right, would he have swam or tried to swim to the back to the island?
you have a hard problem with the audio that you have to address.
Or me?
No, I'm just saying in general, the audio poses a real big problem. I just
Oh,
showed you that this is not at you. I'm speaking in general.
oh,
WLOX, the news, the local news, they're the ones that put out this actual audio, and it came from the official
so
CETO call.
so to be
Mel.
I'm sorry, give me a second, chaotic. So to be clear, I believe based on the audio, unless they come back to me and say it's AI, I believe that Nolan was on the boat based on the audio. To be clear, okay? Prior to that, I believe the story that something happened to Nolan on the island, right? And I believe that as a result of that, some negligence happened, like they're trying to cover up. And I'm saying if the recording is legitimate, then I would have no choice than to believe that Nolan was on the boat. That's why.
Pause for 1 second. I have to do
Go ahead.
something.
Oh,
I
okay.
was given this video, and here's a video.
Okay, so I just need you to pause it while I put this video up. Now I have to set up a few things. I'm going to show you guys one other argument. So keep going. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's it. And Mr. Kayale could go ahead. The truth could take up from here because I finished. Go ahead.
How about this, Mel? If you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like, this is really strange. Like, to be honest with you, it's really interesting, man, with the audio and the times, and it is an interesting series of events, man. I don't know, man. What do you think? How about that? What do you think?
I'm about to show you. Well, I'm saying right now, in my opinion, right? It's only as good as my opinion. The last time we have any record of Nolan is in the background on this audio. I'm going to show you again. Now, I just gave you the argument of Tatum to say, well, this couldn't have been that because he's right by the shoreline. Well, I already refuted that. Now I'm going to show you. See, Tatum came out. So I gave you my position about the audio. Tatum came out with this. Just let me get this up for 1 second. I want to show you guys this final thing before we start to taper out. But I'm going to show you this real quick. And then I could answer even more. I just want to do this real quick. I didn't know that we would have a guest, and this is amazing. I appreciate having you on. I think it's a good show.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. All right, so here's the second argument. Actually, it's the first argument of Tatum. Tatum came out and he says, listen, we have because I just showed you they were told out. I don't think Tatum realized that we have the records, how far, but at least we'll take Warren's word. They were told out 1/4 of a mile, right? So check this out. They put out this video, 6 seconds, saying, oh, there's 7 people on this boat. And this proves that Nolan is not on the boat. Check it out.
I was given this video.
Hold on 1 second. I have to remove this
Mel,
here. Yeah.
I gotta take something. I gotta take this call. Good talking to you guys.
Okay.
I gotta roll up out of here.
All right, you got it. Thanks.
All right.
All right, so let's just I have to pull that back up for you. You want to see this?
Yes. Of course, okay. Yes, I want to see it.
All right, so I'll just show it really quickly here. Okay.
I was given this video, and here's a video of the actual boat as they're getting towed out. Do you see Nolan on this boat whatsoever?
Yep.
Now,
all right, here we go.
Because I was given this video, and here's a video of the actual boat as they're getting towed out. Do you see Nolan on this boat whatsoever? Now,
okay, so look at what they were wearing that day.
Yep, we talked about that. They were wearing something different from what the photo shows. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. So you saw that there were 7 people on the boat, 2 females, and the rest were males.
Yes,
now this appears to be Warren, okay, and he has on these orange shorts. You see.
Yep.
He has on this person. I mean, I don't know without a shadow of a doubt. I don't know him, but this person is wearing this hat. I don't know why this is not cooperating today. Okay, I don't know. We're having something is off here. So I can't seem to get this to go up. Let's see. Let me try this one. Yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is. Okay, so let me try this.
Trying to stop your greatness.
Okay, so there we go, right
Yeah.
there. So you see the hat that he has on?
Yeah, it's almost like a military khaki hat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, down south, well, everywhere. But
Yeah,
as I was growing up, they had the fishing and the hunting hat, similar to this hat that he had on, right? Similar hat, right? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's starting to shape up. You look at the nose, right?
Yeah.
So he appears to be this guy on the far left. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at the people on the boat that they're putting out as proof, look at the guy on the far left.
Yeah.
There's a female sitting down. There's another one bent over. And then you see this fella here with his back to us.
Yes.
The hat this guy has on appears to be white, but it's similar to the logo on this hat, right?
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that that's Warren. But the bottom line is we're looking for a guy that has on the same clothes as this guy with the orange on. So as we look at this guy has on a red beads.
Yeah, I was about to say that they have the same.
Just like the red beads that this guy has on, but his clothes does not match. Okay.
Yeah, it's different pants.
We look at these other guys on the boat. They have on dark blue shorts, right? Okay, nothing identifiable with what we see here from these guys, right?
It look like
Okay, especially not the guy with the orange shorts on, right? Then we take a look at the final guy. You see here, he's bent over, and he has on some peach or something, right?
Yeah, peaches red.
Okay, so it makes you wonder: is this the same day? Because we do know that most media is saying this photo with Nolan in it came from the day that we're talking about. Okay.
That's the photo. Yes, that's the last photo. Yes.
Right. So when you now try to add this video that everybody's talking about, it just doesn't seem to jive, right? It doesn't match up with the actual clothes that you see people actually on the boat wearing. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think again, it's just another reason why we're asking questions. Now, of course, some people will say, he changed. He could have changed his shorts and stuff like that. That doesn't what normally happens, especially when it comes to the guys. You don't change shorts. You keep the same thing on, you dry, and you keep it moving, right? So it's, again, another reason why we want to know the truth.
Okay.
Again, we're not here to try to point fingers and say this person, that person, that. There's a lot of the smoke, and we believe there's fire, but we just want to hear the truth. What actually happened? Give us the investigation so we figure out what happened so that we can move on. If it's if something nefarious happened, whether it's after, before the fact, or if a tragic accident and they covered up, we want justice. But if it was a tragic accident, then we want to know so that we can mourn this young man and move on. All we asking is for answers. And we don't want people to keep gaslighting us and making us seem to think that, racism is no longer an issue, that we are delusional into thinking. And I'm not saying, and the reason why I don't even know if I even use race on this particular situation, except to say that if it was a white kid and he went out with 4 black kids, right, and the white kid didn't come back, it would be a different story. That I will say. But if I am to respect the parents, right, and as a fellow survivor, I tend to respect other survivors, even the ones I don't agree with. The mom and the dad has already indicated to the world that they do not believe it's an ACE issue. They already said that. So I'm not going to come out and push the race card, right, to say, these YT guys intentionally did something to this kid because they're white and black. I'm saying that as black folks, we need to be aware who our kids hang out with, right? Different things happen in different circles, okay? I'm willing to respect the fact that the parents said several times it's not an ACE issue, but because I said that, when we bring the ACE issue up, we're not necessarily even bringing the ACE issue when it came between those boys and Nolan. We could actually see that they were friends. Maybe something happened tragically. What we're saying is that the system is not treating the fact that Nolan Wells went out to an event with friends. He didn't come back alive. and they're not treating it with the same urgency they would have treated if it was reversed. That's what we're saying. And for somebody to think that race doesn't play into the lack of urgency, the lack of rights that the family should be getting, I think it's wrong. I think it's naive. That's what we're saying. That's what a lot of people are saying.
So, how do you look at it based on what Officer Tatum said versus Warren said they were towed out a quarter of a mile? We look at the GPS data, it says that they were towed out 2.75 miles. And keep in mind, the CTOW never towed them. So, the GPS is actually picking up the tow from their friend or what have you. For some reason, they stopped at that 2.75 miles. Then we look at the boat and we don't see things matching up. How do you interpret that?
I interpret it, if everything is true, something happened to Nolan in that boat. They could have gotten into a fight, or it's possible because I think Officer T is trying to allege that he's been drinking or he's been something going to be found in the toxology. I think somebody came out, and I don't know if it was Officer T. Yeah, they were saying that he came out saying that there's something in the toxology as a former officer, or maybe possibly he got a earlier view. Maybe something happened to Nolan on that boat. Maybe something happened. Maybe a tragic accident happened to him. Maybe he fell down. Maybe something happened. Maybe they didn't do anything. Because if we're listening to the voice and we hear that they say Nolan and oh no, oh my God, there is distress in their voice, right? There's distress in their voice. I don't hear anything. I do hear that they did name one of the person, and I don't want to name his name because we don't have a lawsuit, as if to say this is his name, as if, the way they said it is almost like, I don't want to say accusatory, but the way they said the guy name, it perked me up. Like, why did you say his name like that? Like maybe something happened with that. But the others, they sounded really concerned and very upset about what happened. So I could honestly believe that is a possibility, if it's proven that maybe something happened to him unintentionally and they got scared, right? And because they are young people, they handled it poorly. And then they in turn now decided that they're going to cover their behind, and they started deleting photos and stuff like that. I could see it because if we wanted to listen to the recording, we have to remember the words that were said. Oh no, is he unalive? That doesn't show to me that they intentionally meant to do this kid harm. I think that it's possible, if he wasn't on a line and he was about a tragic accident happened, they may have had rugs in there, they may have had drinks, they may have had a lot of stuff that was going on. They got scared. It's almost like, the show, like I Know What You Did Last Summer. Remember that movie? Right? It's almost like that. And they scared. So we just need to know what happened. And again, that's why the mom and dad, and at first, to be honest with you, at first, I was a little bit concerned initially that race had to do with it, just like with the Kamala Anthony situation. But I immediately, when I heard that they were friends for many years, and I heard that the mom knew the judge and they went to school, or one of the moms, I'm like, okay, fine, because I personally have very close friends too, right? And I trust my friends with my son. I have a very close friend from the military. She babysit my son. I used to go out and she used to babysit the boys. She kept the boys, both of my sons, for the weekend. They love her to this day. And she left her kids with me, right? So there's nothing to say that, because you leave your family members with someone else of another race, that your family members necessarily are going to be 100% in danger. There's also type of scenario. With that said, it is concerning to us that a Black young male went out with 3 or 4 of his white friends. They came back without him, and their behavior afterwards brought questions of why he was found alone, dead on the island. It's a lot to it, right? If he was found there. But to me, I think that now, if the recording is, to be honest with you, if the recording is true, that means that, in my opinion, something tragic happened to Nolan on the boat, right? If that happened, if it is, because I know we're going to get a cease and desist, because they don't want us to even talk like this, because they think they feel that we are implying stuff. We're saying if, and this is for educational purposes. Copyright 1976, where we could have a discussion about different topics. If it happened, if the recording legitimate, if Nolan was on the boat, I could see, based on their reaction, if I am to believe that they say, "Oh my God, is he alive?" Blah, blah, something tragic may have happened to him, and they fear, because there were probably rugs and there were probably alcohol. A lot of them, especially the person, if the person was the person that the lawyer is very interested in protecting, if that person was there, I don't know if that person was there, but if that person was there, that person is supposed to have a huge career ahead of him, because he's very talented. If all these things came to play, they could have made a horrible decision, like any young person who are not fully developed in their mind. They could have came to the agreement to say, "Hey, we're sorry this happened, but it's not going to ruin our lives. It's not our fault. It was a horrible accident." And they could have just let him float.
Right. So let me ask you this. I think it's very unlikely he left his phone. I can't get over that. Now,
I agree.
maybe he was so drunk or something, but I just find that hard to believe, right? Even if he so drunk, you would say as a friend, "Hey, here's your phone, man," or whatever. Okay, but anyway, what makes more sense? I want to get your opinion. What makes more sense? They're leaving. He's on the island. He says, "Hey, I don't want to go back right now." So he doesn't ask for his phone, or that he leaves on the boat and something's wrong with him, and he disappears and leave his phone behind. Which one makes more sense? I'm not saying either one happened. I'm just saying, what makes more sense of those two scenarios?
To me, it depends on the circumstances, but after the recording, what makes more sense would be that he is that something happened to him in the big, but because initially I was wondering if something happened to him on the island, right? That something happened to him, because not everybody know whose phone. So it's possible something happened to him on the island, right? And the person that knew something happened to him, they got one on the boat, and no one was the wiser except for the person who knew his phone was there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we can't. You understand, because there's a lot of phones. So,
but here's the thing,
everybody. But again, that's before the recording. Now that the recording is in play, now there's other factors that come into play.
Right.
But again, we don't know. I'm waiting to see, because according to Benjamin Crumb in the press conference today, a lot of people was upset about the press conference. So I want to talk about that for a moment. But he said that he sent the recording to experts. So I want to see what come out of that investigation, right? If experts listen to the recording, I want to see what happened with that and stuff like that. So the press conference, to me, did not really give any new information. However, I did think that the press conference was important, because we, as people who suffers from violence, we had press conferences similar to that. What happens is that sometimes there is a story that the media is more interested in, like, for example, a 5-year-old that's pew-pewed, or a mass pew-pew in the school.
Right.
When we have a press conference, what we do is we bring in other survivors who haven't had their story told, survivors who have cold cases. We bring other survivors so they could come and tell their story, so to bring additional fresh eye to their story and what happened to them and their kids, right? So today was something very similar, right? You had two additional stories. One case where they prove that, or at least I believe they proved that the kid did not pew-pew himself, because the The pew pew, the gun that was in the residence, was not the one that came from the propellant, right?
Right.
Have another case where it was proven that the kid threw the other young man phone and his clothes away in order to cover up. So these are all tragic stories that wasn't out there like that until they decided to bring the families together. So what happened in the press conference is normal and something that happens when it comes to advocacy and survivor story. We support each other and we bring light to these stories so the survivor don't feel alone. I just want to do that.
Right. So let me just ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
The last.
I want to say something before you ask me something. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Can you remember before I say something?
Yeah.
All right. Remember, keep it in mind. I'll write it down. I want to say I appreciate people that was on talking about what happened with Chaotic and me, and you guys felt that Mel didn't say something. I saw some comments about that. You guys have to understand this show. This is what me and Mel does. You understand what I'm saying? Mel is the good straight guy. I am the loud, boisterous woman, right? If Mel would have gotten on Chaotic behind at that time, the show would have ended a lot earlier. We always have to have a straight man. We always have to have a mediator. We always have to have somebody that listen to all the panelists, and he's the lead host here. So I did not take offense to Mel not checking Chaotic. Also, he already know I could take care of myself anyway, so he doesn't need to say anything. So I just wanted to say that I'm good. If Chaotic ever come back, I could take care of it, and I'm sure he could take care of it too. So you guys don't have to worry about it. But I appreciate the comments. I did see some derogatory comments too, but I just wanted to say, ladies, we're fine. This is what Mel and I do, and we're good. All right. Thank you, Mel. What were you about to add?
So let me add my piece to that, but thank you for what you said.
So we're my brother.
So this is my approach, okay?
Yes.
He has his freedom of speech.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yes.
But I told you, don't do it.
Yes, you did.
I told you don't do it,
you
right? I pulled it up and I started to talk about it. And you said no, I'm going in anyway. I
was going to be good.
But you weren't, right? You went in full throttle. You went in full throttle.
He was smiling too much. He was smiling too much. If he had come in here, even though I disagreed with everything he said, serious on the point, like, well, you know something, this is what's happening, and he had at least a little bit more decorum, because the thing is about a lot of these black males, conservative, like far right conservative, I think that men is the answer to all our prayers, and we poor little old women should be in the kitchen cooking, is the fact that they don't recognize a woman as equal. He didn't see me as equal at all. He saw me as nobody in the screen, because he could have came in here with respect, acknowledge me as a woman, and say, ma'am, I'm going to say some derogatory, some things that may trigger you. It's not you, but this is how I feel. He could have not, you notice he didn't acknowledge me at all. He didn't say shit. He didn't say hello. He didn't say nothing. He went straight to you, and he went straight to disrespect. And you don't do that. Even if you're a panelist, I don't see you doing something like that at all. That just goes to show that he doesn't have the capability of respecting women as an equal. At least face forward. Now, he could be different at home. Maybe he doesn't talk to his mom and sisters and stuff like that. But when he's on it and he's enjoying it, that's the thing about it. I've dealt with men like this my entire life. The reason why I'm as successful, accredited as I am today is because I don't let men like that run me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get that.
That's how it is. So
I respect that, but technically,
I hope he comes back again so we could argue again, because he tried to play, and I like to play too.
Yeah, and I realize that. I know that quite well, but people that are watching, they don't know that he's having the Mama Flips experience, right? They don't quite get that. So it's what it is.
Everything he said. Did you agree with everything he said?
Did I agree with it?
Yes.
Why would I agree with it?
Okay, thank you.
Of course not. I mean, I'm not supposed to agree with him or you or anybody else. We all have our
We have our own
own.
opinion.
I
Now
was
he went
trying.
too far. He went too far with Maya Angelou when he said it's not even the story of Maya Angelou that it's the disparaging way that he said it, right? It's the disparaging way, like he demeaned everything about her in one sentence. And then so that was one thing. Okay. I was like, okay, so that's what time we're on. But to actually tell us in today's date in 2026, after Donald Trump and everything that Donald Trump has said about black folks, what he's doing with Haiti, we didn't even talk about Haiti and TPS and everything that he's doing. Why is it, and blessings to the people in Ukraine, no disrespect, but why is it the people
Every time you do that,
have DPS and then the Haitian people have to go back home? You understand? It's things like that that's happening. Why did he do away with DEI? Why is black women the most a group of people that lost our jobs under Donald Trump? Why is it he always doing things that make us feel like less than? Why is that? Now you want us to know, you want us to believe that racism. I could give you 5 stories in the last 2 years of how racism impacted me. So what I'm saying is that why would a black-facing, dark-skinned male who appears to be intelligent wants us to feed the bullshit that racism is no longer here in America? That's what's wrong.
So I'm going to push back on you, right?
Go ahead. But don't forget that you wanted to ask.
He came up and he has, listen, over here you have freedom of speech.
Yes.
All right. And that's just how it is. If people don't like it, it's what it is, right? I don't get consequences. I sit through it.
Consequences, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
All right. So he has his freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. Last week it was you. And I had a moderator quit because he says that you are a racist and you were going too far. So 1 week is you, then the guy comes in this week. Now it's him. You see what I'm saying? It's Thursday. Wow. It's Thursday night. So just like, listen, hold on, wait a minute. Can I finish?
Why are you telling me
listen,
now
because
that moderator quit?
That's the nature of life.
Was he a racist moderator? That's why he quit?
No, he wasn't racist. He was offended by what you said, right?
That means he's racist.
I didn't even talk to you. I didn't even talk to you about it, right?
You just told me now today. That
okay, all right. So
he quit because.
But I listen.
I'm racist.
Are you gonna let me? Are you gonna let me go?
We're not racist. Remember, we're not racist. So he can't quit because I'm racist. That means he quit because he's racist.
Okay, that's your interpretation.
That's the way it is.
But here's the bottom line, right?
Go ahead.
I'll let you live, right?
Yeah, and you let
him.
He
came in. He said what he had to say. We started to talk about. Listen, I have to get it out for the audience. All right.
I'm sorry.
It's very important.
Okay, I'm sorry.
My method is prevention. I'm not here. Even when I was trying to tell you to chill out, you started turning. You were on demon time. You know what I mean? I don't even know if you realize. I'm like, listen, chill out.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then again, I say chill out, but the audience don't tend to see that part. They just say, well, you should have just hit the mute. I don't hit the mute button on people.
No,
right? Now, that may affect whether I want to do business with you again, but I'm not going to. I've been on debates and I've been muted. Right? Because because I was winning the debate or they didn't like what I was saying. It wasn't like that type of conversation. Mm-hmm. But the person I was debating was muting me.
Well, that's terrible.
That's terrible, right? So, I would say, and we need to put up a warning for Thursday night because you have the ability of bringing out the Sprite in everyone. Exactly. All right.
But I want to make it clear, I was okay.
And you don't listen, and you don't heed the warning. Then they say, well, he was talking like that to Mama Flips. Da, 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 da. And then Mama Flips is the one that's bullying him.
I was not bullying him. That's what now you're being ridiculous.
Hey, listen, I've seen you in person. Listen, hold on. Wait.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you that. But I've seen you in front of the courthouse. Listen, I've seen you in front of the courthouse in somebody's face, ready to... And I have to come to your aid because you about to get into somebody's butt in live time.
Yes, you did. But that
this is how you operate. So they don't know that part. They don't know I got to come up.
I was helping a girl. Which one? When I was helping Barbie? Is that one?
There's multiple times where you've done this, and I got to come closer to see if I got to get involved. So people don't quite get the whole picture.
Yes.
But you don't listen. I say, listen. I said, don't go there. And what did you do?
I went there, but no,
And
come
then
on,
look,
Mel.
and then it's out of hand. You see, but
Mel,
anyway,
no, it would have been just. Let me tell you, it would. To be honest with you, I tried to be good, but here it is. There's certain things that it would have been disrespectful as a black woman to stand here and watch a black man disrespect Maya Angelou to my face like that and call her a whore and stuff like that. There's certain things that you can't do. If it was somebody I did not know, like, you know, I would have probably been annoyed, but I would have left it. Maya Angelou has a great impact for a lot of women, especially women my age. We grew up with her. For him to come and see me on the panel and say what he had a right to say whatever he right. Like you said, I didn't try to stop you and say, Mel, kick him out, or Mel, I'm leaving. No, I allowed him to say. But once he said what he had to say, I'm going to say what I have to say. It was disrespectful. So I would have looked like a punk and a beard being disrespected by this man on the panel that I'm in without having to say something. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then he started disrespecting me being a Marine, talk about I shouldn't even be in the military. I can't even believe a young man would even talk like that in 2026. You understand what I'm saying? But you gave him a right to say his speech. I said what I had to say because freedom of speech come with consequences. I was his consequences tonight. And then we move on. But I want everybody to know this is what we do. And no, I did not know that he lost a mod because of me. That means that he picked me.
Oh, last week you were on one. Lord have mercy.
You come on one all the time.
No. Last week you were just a little bit.
That means he picks me over them. That's so sweet. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but
you were way out there. You know what I mean? So at any rate, I just want to make that clear. I know you're not going to stop once you start.
No, I'm not.
But apparently you won't take the cue to don't even go there. Just let it be.
I did try. I tried. And I was going to say only one thing, but he just kept adding to it, Mel. He just kept adding to it. And with a smile, he just kept adding to it. And I'm like, yo, we're about to be on. But I did eventually stop. I eventually stopped.
When you got good and ready, I know you would come back down after you empty your chamber.
I saw I saw that you really wanted to go into the Nolan stuff, and you were like, okay, that's it. I get it. When you get to that voice where okay, I'll stop. When you get to that voice, and you got to that voice, and I'm like, okay, let me stop.
Yeah, it's Thursday night. I'm not going to stop you unless it gets a little bit too out of control. Now, on another night or different show, we're not going to have it at all.
No, and when you get to that voice, I will stop. You know, because you be like, okay, but when you get to that voice, I will stop.
So. Yeah, I get so many people saying, "Mama Flips, why do you have her on the show? She's this is people. This is I've heard it all, right? Most of the time, I don't even say anything. I let you live. You know what I mean? Do your thing.
They don't like the truth. That's the thing. I get in trouble all the time because people don't like the truth. They don't like to see the ugliness and that they bring out in other people. You understand? A lot of people are so entitled that they feel that they could say or do anything and they don't have any consequences at all. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And with me, I say it all the time. Prior to 2016, 2015, I spoke to a lot of people. I had friends who were Republicans. I had friends from all walk of life. I'm in politics, so you can't differentiate between the two. But once 2016 happened, before 2016, there was a politeness that was out there, right? There was a politeness. There wasn't there were implied racism, but it wasn't overt. People wouldn't come to your face and act like they think that they're better than you, right? That you're stupid, like you less than. That you don't deserve anything, that all the stuff that you work for and struggle didn't mean anything because the white guy gave it to you, and they're the one that's been demeaned and disrespected all this time where the black people are being are rising. That's what happened in 2016. We didn't have that conversation.
Address Michelle, if you don't mind. Address Michelle.
She talked about it herself. It doesn't take away from her. I'm sorry, I can't see. She talked about it herself. It doesn't take away from her legacy. No, but the way he said it, Michelle, was the problem. You understand? He didn't come up here. He came up here and he was like, hey,
he was using as
he was using it in the derogatory term, Michelle. He wasn't coming, and I asked them, and we went into the comment. It wasn't one statement, and I asked him specifically, right? Is her prostitute, did it take away from her accomplishments? She kept on saying, well, she was selling her pussy and she was giving her pussy to the white man. Do you understand, Michelle? Were you there for the whole conversation? He could have backed up and be like, no, it didn't take away from her legacy. She was a prostitute. She used it, but she became a poet and everything. That's not what he did. He went down harder to disrespect her, and then he did it because I was here online. You understand? He did it, and he did it with a smile, Michelle. I've been doing this for a lot of years, sis. And I don't know if you're a sis, whether you're white or black. I've been doing a lot of shit. I know when somebody's gaslighting, disrespect me, and playing in my face. You understand what I'm saying? And that's exactly what he did. And that's what made me upset. So no, it doesn't take away from the legacy. And also, did you hear when I asked him, because I wanted to make sure that I knew where he was coming from, I asked him, I said, what about the fact that she talked about the fact that she had she was abused as a child? And he said, so what? That's what he said out of his mouth. So he didn't care about her legacy. He didn't care about any of that. And that's my problem with him.
So your issue wasn't that he was lying; it was the way he said it.
I didn't know whether he's lying or not, because I said I don't know if you're lying. I don't know if she wrote about her being a prostitute. That's not how I know Maya Angelou for. I know Maya Angelou for the fact that she talked in her poetry, talked about abuse as a child. That's what I knew Maya Angelou for. So I don't know about her being a prostitute or anything. I didn't even know that she was married to three white men. I didn't know any of that, right? So that wasn't even the point. That wasn't even the point of the conversation. The point is that he used her past against her to demean her, and in turn demean other black women. That's the problem what we had. We had a lot of black women that did a lot of horrible things. Michelle, for example, I work with people who unalive people. I work with people who served 25 years in jail for unaliving somebody, and they out here now working to bring awareness to our community so the kids don't end up like that. I know them. They have my phone number. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand redemption. I'm not going to go out here and say, oh, this person was a killer, undermine all his legacy and stuff like that, and then throw it in the black man's face and say, yeah, what about him? He a killer, and stuff like that. He was disrespectful.
Let me ask you a question. If we're having a show and I let up a guy that's a white supremacist, would you have a problem with it?
Hell no. I will not. It would not be a good show. It would not.
No, but I'm saying, what would you expect me to do? Tell him to get out of here or mute it or what have you?
Actually, because of the kind of show we have, I would expect you to allow him to speak. However,
okay, all right. I like that answer.
Of course,
I like that answer made my day.
You and I have an agreement on that, right? We already know what type of show we have. I would expect you. However, I would expect the fact that if he called me the N-word with an ER, that you gonna go on his ass. That's what I would expect. I would expect that you be like, yo, no, we're not using the ER word. So there's certain.
So wait a minute. I just got to understand you. So he could say the GA, but not the NR.
No, he can't say that. He can't say any N word. I'm saying, but
okay, that's better. Now I can understand what you're saying. Okay. You seem like you're selective.
No. He can't say the N word. I'm sorry, you're right. He can't say the N word at all. But if he said the N word, I apologize, because I talk about this with the difference between A and ER when it comes to black folk. So if he says it at all, I expect you to be like, yo, no, you're out of here. You can't use that word here. So there's certain things that goes too far. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. But other than that, but if you bring other people in here and they want to have, that's your show. I mean, that's our show, but that's your show. You're the lead host. You have a right to bring people in. But know when you bring these people in, that I'm going to show my ass, because consequences, I'll be their consequence. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That's what I figure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We already know what time we're on. We already know what kind of show
we have. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Michelle, for coming up. I hope that I made myself clear.
I think she agrees more with him, though, from what I saw.
I'm sure she does. This is where it comes with the conservative black folks that makes me crazy. I give the analogy over and over again. During slavery, we had the kitchen ones and we had the field one. The kitchen one lived a lifestyle where they felt that they were equal or better than the field ones. They could never understand the sacrifice and the hurt, or they don't want to understand the sacrifice and the hurt of the field slave. They only care about the kitchen and being close to their masters and being fed nicely and having their secondhand clothes. Because they felt that they have a better life, they can't see the pain and suffering that everybody else does. That's how I feel about a lot of these black-faced people, these black people that wants to justify or have a blinder on when it comes to the suffering of other black folks. I could give you a prime example of every single thing. And I live a very good life. I'm very, very, very well connected. There's a lot of stuff that other people suffers through that I don't. And they know not to mess with me. You understand?
Now, let me ask you, is that because
I
you're...
don't understand the suffering of other people.
So when you say you're well connected, is that because of your affiliation with MAGA?
No, that's because my affiliation outside of MAGA. I'm not affiliated with MAGA at all.
You're not a Trump supporter?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. What do you think about the whole new TPS situation?
Okay, let's talk about Haiti. Okay. First of all, I didn't even know that it was, and it actually went through until a close friend of mine posted on Facebook that he was very sad and he was sending blessings to our Haitian brothers and sisters, because I'm a Haitian, guys, Haitian descent. He was sending blessings to the Haitian brothers and sisters. He was very sad to see that the TPS was removed from them. And I added a comment and I said, years ago, you and I talked about this, and I told you that this could happen. I was expecting it to happen in 2016. We were lucky it didn't happen before, and now it's happening now. Now, the reason why I talk about my friend is because my friend, who I love very dearly, worked for a company in which Donald Trump was in the area. And he and his wife, and I love them dearly, they are my closest loving friends, and I respect them. They went out of their way to go see Donald Trump, right? They even went out of the way. I think one of them, either him or her, actually shook his hand, right? And I was upset with that. I'm like, yo, wait a minute, what? What's going on? I said, I didn't even know that you were one of them. Like, I still don't know if he's a Republican or not, but I said, I didn't know you were one of them. But in his mind, he's like, it wasn't a big deal to him at the time because he is like every other person in that office. So he wasn't seeing him as the man. He was seeing him as the office, right? And he felt it was an honor to be there because he was the one that was holding the office, just like he would see everybody else, right? If there was any other, whether it's Democrat or Republican, as long as they're in the office, it's an honor to be there, is a part of history. He felt he was there. My problem with him is that you don't understand the damage that he's going to do. So if you don't understand, or if you do understand, because I understand the damage that he's doing, I think he was a year in when this thing happened. I understand the damage he do. I don't care if he holds the office, whatever office. I would never meet, shake hand, go out of my way to go anywhere near the guy because I know who he is. So to me, it doesn't. I don't understand somebody that would do that. You understand? But I respect him. I love him. They're great people and stuff. And there's no demeaning about them. I love them. They are my heart. I get it. You understand? But to me, I'm different. I made out a different, thing. So now to see him actually post it, I know how he feels. I know how he feels. I know how he feel about the Haitian people. I know the pain that he's going through. But I warned him. And I warned a lot of Haitian people when they were back in 2015, when I was campaigning, when I was arguing and fighting for Hillary Clinton. And a lot of the Haitian people was like, well, we're not going to vote for her because she and her husband stole land in Haiti. Or they're corrupt because they did it. And I'm like, yo, but you're going to vote for this month, right? And this one is going to destroy not only America, but he's going to destroy everything. I said, didn't you hear what he said? Some Haitian people was like, oh, he's not talking about us. He's talking about Mexicans. And I'm like, how does that even? And I'm like, how does that even make sense? If he's talking about one nationality, he's talking about all of us. I said, Mexicans are not any different than Haitians. Like, what are we talking about? Like, or Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, we're all minorities. So if he goes after them, he's going to come after us next. A lot of them did not agree until he came out with the third world country. And that's when we had the march through the Brooklyn Bridge. And you know what I did when the Haitian people marched through the Brooklyn Bridge? And I was marching and everything. I stood and I got the live. I should find the live and post it. I stood on the other side of the bridge and I filmed it. And this is me. Look at y'all now. Yeah. Look at y'all now. Yeah. Now y'all upset. Now y'all upset that he, and I said, as a Haitian, I couldn't cover, as a Haitian woman with Haitian parents, right? Now my brothers and sisters upset. I could have told y'all that before y'all voted for him. You understand what I'm saying? So now we here. Now everybody's upset. Now everybody hurt.
Let me ask you a question though. Why would they have voted for Trump after the comments, or maybe the comments was after the fact, when they said, when Trump or Vance said that the Haitian people were eating dogs or cats or whatever?
A lot of Haitian people did not.
They still voted for him after that?
I don't know if the Haitian people voted for him. I don't know if the Haitian people voted for him with the same veracity they did with Hillary, because the hatred was really towards Hillary Clinton. I don't think the Haitian people hated Biden so much. You understand? Or Kamala Harris so much. They really voted for him because of Hillary. They hated, a lot of people hated Hillary for what they alleged that she did, the Clinton Foundation did in Haiti. So that's the thing. So I don't know the percentage of Haitian people that voted for Donald Trump this time around. But at the end of the day, I met a Puerto Rican outside, and it's on live. I think I showed you the video, where when they were talking, he was outside of Madison Square Garden when Trump was inside, and the guy was, the comedian was inside talking about like Puerto Rican being had garbage or whatever. And this guy who wore a MAGA hat, we were talking about the jokes, and we were talking about the disrespect to Puerto Dominican and Haitian people. And he looked at me, he said, did he lie? This guy, and I have the live. I got the live. Still got the live up. I have to. Maybe I made it private because it's a casino. We changed our channel to casino. But he looked. Did he lie? I said, what do you mean? Did he lie? Oh, don't Haitian people? I heard Haitian people eat goose or whatever the thing. I'm like, I'm Haitian, and no, we don't. I said, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh, I heard because of the what they do. You know what they do. You know what they do. That they cut up. I'm like, yo, Lord have mercy. Are you talking about voodoo? Is that what you're talking about, voodoo? There's no geese involved in all that, sir. What's wrong with you? So, and this is an older man. I think he was older than me. So yes, they believe them. They believe him. You understand what I'm saying? So I would not be surprised if, I don't think a Haitian person would say yes. Well, actually, no, that's not true. On Queen's Flip actually, oh no, that's not true. My son Queen's Flip actually had a live during the election where a Haitian person came on. It was a Twitter live, and they were texting each other, and there was a person that was there. He said, well, I'm Haitian, and my cousin lives in that area, and my cousin said that the Haitian people are getting the geese and cutting them and cooking. I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, what? I went in on the text. He was like, I see my mother in the chat. She's going crazy. I'm like, what? So you heard somebody said, and you over here as a Haitian descendant talking about this nonsense when you know we don't do that? I went crazy. So yeah, people will believe whatever they want to believe to justify their vote. You understand what I'm saying? They would. And they will defend it. They will defend it to the day they die. They will and they will look at you like you're stupid, like you're crazy.
So we're running out of time. So I want to ask you about, what do you think about Anthony Fauci?
Okay, so I didn't hear about the Anthony Fauci. I heard. I didn't listen to the Senate. I don't listen.
Okay, it's all right. Well,
no. But let me finish saying what I said. I did hear that they tried to drag him as a result of the fact that he was the expert of the COVID. He's the one that came up with the shots in order to combat COVID. So I already heard all of this before. The fact of the matter is that Donald Trump took almost unalived, almost died because he had COVID. We all know this. He went to the hospital and he got the mocktail, okay, which was a very expensive pre
Vaccination.
vaccination. Thank you for telling me the word. It was the pre-vaccination to the cheap vaccination that the rest of us had. Donald Trump also got the shots also. So I don't care what the Republicans, the conservatives says. You love Donald Trump. He took the shots. He survived at the hospital and he was able to take follow-up shots. You understand what I'm saying? So if he could take it and he's your God, right? There shouldn't be any problems with you guys taking it. With that said, my mom is one of the longest living COVID survivor in New York. You could check her story. She was in a coma for 3 months and she was rehabilitated in the hospital for 3 months. She was gone from us for 6 months. What saved her was hydrocortisone, which is the medicine that they shouldn't have given her, but that's what gave her the opportunity to fight the first battle. After that, it was several other experimental stuff that they put her on. And then when she came out, she took the shots and she's still here. She's upstairs now. She almost died. You know how many people we lost because they didn't take the shots? So I don't care what anybody have to say about Dr. Fauci. He saved my mom's life. He saved other people's lives, and I will always be grateful to him. That's what I have to say about Dr. Fauci.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. So I guess that's it. We went over our time for tonight, but we had to make an excess because you had to turn up tonight.
It's not my fault.
I'm ashamed that you would act like that.
I can't believe that you allowed this young man to come here and disparage Maya Angelou and then disrespect my military service. What do you say about that, sir? So I'm not supposed to be a Marine. I'm not supposed to be a sharpshooter because I'm a woman. And then he had the nerve. And I'm going to send you my DD-214 too. And then he had the nerve to look at me in this camera, on the camera, to call me a liar when I said I'm a sharpshooter, a few points away from an expert. You know how he had the nerve to look at me in my eye and say, "Oh, no, you're not." What is that? Like I would lie about something like that. Are you crazy? Are you kidding? It's just oh my God. I mean, so now I'm on you. Now.
Bring it on.
I should be the one that be on your tail. So you don't believe I was a Marine?
It wouldn't be the first. Of course I do.
And you don't believe
I don't second guess that at all. Absolutely not. You know.
You don't believe I don't
second guess it.
And the fact that he had the nerve to talk about, oh, that's the only reason why you was a supply. And somebody named Brian was talking about, oh, she's upset that she was. I was a wire person also. You know what a wire person consists of? A wire person could be near the front lines, okay, depending on where you are located at a time of war. You understand? So I wasn't only a supply person. I was actually a wire person who was connecting phones. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard, that these people actually have the audacity in 2026, when we had women who served their country, right, who lost their lives for this country, for them to actually have the nerve to look at someone like me to talk about, oh, you took a job. He had the nerve to talk about, you took a job of a man. You took a job as a man. So I'm guessing female firefighters take a job of a man too. And female police officers take a job as a man too. So we shouldn't have any of those jobs, right? And then he had the nerve to tell me I wouldn't be able to. Boy, do you know what I used to carry? Boy? Do you know what I used to carry? You know how far I used to run? Do you know how I used to jump on the propeller? You know how much what I used to do? Boy, you have no idea who I was in real life.
You used to be a gangster?
What, in the military I was. I scared a lot of the military personnel. The Marines didn't mess with me.
You sound like the American gangster.
I packed all the time.
Really?
All the time. I had stories to tell old son. I had stories to tell him of this time when I was in the military. Is he crazy? You know how hard I had to work? You know how many times I had to check different officers?
Well,
And then he
all
said,
I can tell you is this.
let me tell you a story about when he talked about, I did want to tell him before I got mad. He said something that was very interesting. He said a story, Chaotic said a story about how he felt there was no way anything would have been done to Nolan because those guys was his friends. I actually wanted to tell him a military story. So when I was in Camp Lejeune, right? When I was in Camp Lejeune, I was doing what is called I was the rally person. I was doing duty. I was doing the duty overnight, right? I was doing duty overnight. After I did duty, I left and I went to bed. The next day, I was approached by a sergeant who was a friend of mine. And he came and told me, I think, no, it wasn't the next day. Maybe it was like 3 days later. So he came and he said that, I'm in trouble. I said, what happened? He said, after you left duty and I took over for you. I said, yeah, what happened? He said, one of the PFC was great, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell happened? Because now I'm like concerned, right? I said, what happened? He said that she came in, she was completely, intoxicated, because that's what your previous guest said, that Nolan Wells, because have been intoxicated. He said she was completely intoxicated. He couldn't leave the area, right? He couldn't leave the area to take her to the room. He didn't want to leave her on the bench, right? Because there's a bench there, and he didn't want to call the MT, right? Because he didn't want to get them in trouble. So he knows that those two male Marines was friends with this female Marine. He knows that because they all hung out together, right? So he allowed those two guys to take her to the room, and they in turn assaulted and raped them, right? She woke up, she reported it. So those two guys in trouble, but he's in trouble too. And he was about to go to office hours and may lose his career because he allowed them to take her to her room. It's almost similar to what this guy, Chaotic, said about Nolan. Just because you think that you are with friends, doesn't mean that you're safe with them. And that happened to me when I was it didn't happen to me, thank God, because I would have killed them. But that happened to someone I know, a young white PFC Marine. Her life was completely dismantled because everybody felt that those male Marines was her friends, and they weren't. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, things like that could happen. Yeah, Nolan could have gone out with guys that he thought that was his friends, right? And something could have happened. Yes, it happens all the time. It shouldn't be a surprise. So yeah, I had so much story to tell him. Every time he had a question, I had a story to tell him. Every time I was like, I could tell you 10 races. I could tell you so many things that happened in my life that you think that your life is so special. But the rest of us, we actually live real lives. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I wanted to end with that. That was a very tragic story. I don't know what happened to him. I think he probably lost his commission, and I hope he didn't have to go to the trial with it because it is negligent on his behalf. I hope he's okay. But that was a very tragic story. It was a tragic story. And you know what scared me, Mel? It could have been me. That scared me because I was there right before him, right? Now, how do I know that I wouldn't have done the same thing? Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. That's what scares me when I think about it. I could have been the person that said, okay, you know something, you guys go ahead, take her to the room. I don't know. I don't know. So that's what scares me.
All right. Very good.
All right.
I think that's it. There was one other subject matter I wanted to talk to you about, but I forgot. The show has been so long now.
Trump spoke something. You wanted to tell me about Trump. Did you hear his speech?
Yeah, I heard his speech. It was something else though. I don't know what it was. Anyway, we'll get back to it eventually. It'll come back to me for the next time around, perhaps.
Yeah, if I come back, the way you dissing me, talking about I'm losing margin on and stuff like that, that's me.
I didn't say that. See what I'm saying? That's not what I said. I said when you were just speaking your piece, I gave you the floor. I didn't interrupt you.
Yeah, and I appreciated that, and then I think that we should warn people when I come up, but I think everybody has an opportunity to have an opportunity to say their piece. Just they have to suffer the consequences. That's all.
So you okay with people speaking their piece?
Yes, I'm okay with them speaking their piece. I'm gonna ram my foot down their throat if I feel it's necessary. So I'm okay.
Right. Okay.
I'm okay with them speaking. Yeah, because we do it all the time. So it's not the first time. I had an argument with the other guy too. So we talked about TPS, right? We talked about Nolan, right? We talked about yeah, those are the only thing that I remember you wanted to talk about. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There was something else that happened today. So we talked about the TPS. We talked about Nolan.
Hmm.
You didn't want to talk about Nancy. Yeah, I can't remember the other one. I can't remember the other. Sorry, I can't remember the other one. I know
Okay.
that you said that, but you definitely did say that you wanted to talk to me about Trump and stuff like that. You definitely told me that. So I'm guessing.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out about the TPS. What were your thoughts about that TPS deal?
I think we hit everything, but if not, we'll get back at it next time.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. And you can't be bullying our guests. You know what I mean? So
He wasn't bullied. He stayed. He wasn't bullied. He gave as much as he.
hey, listen, I know you. I know you in real life, so my approach is different with you.
That guy did not run. He came back. He 10.
You look forward. Listen, I know you well, and you look forward to bullying folks sometimes. Not weak people, but any guy you can ruffle up, you always lining them up. I know how you operate. You look forward to the moment. You can't help yourself.
They disrespect. He was disrespectful, my friend. He was disrespectful. I can't wait till he come back. I can't wait till he talk about me tomorrow on the show and clip it up and stuff like that and talk down to me. I know his show is gonna be full of me. You know what I'm saying? But he something else. Where did you find him anyway?
No, he has a good show. Sometime I go on his show. I went on his show for Carmelo. He's on every day. So you should go on and,
that's okay.
Chat with him a little bit.
So can I ask you what are you on the opposite spec? Oh, you guys agree a lot, you and him?
No, it's not about agreeing. It's debating. So sometimes he has a lot of intelligent people on his platform who profess. No, I'm just saying profess to be intelligent. So, it's a good place to go in and debate. You'll find somebody that's going to disagree with you if you want to. So great show. I like your show.
Let me make sure that you could tell that he's intelligent, right? You could tell that he's intelligent, but what you could also tell that he's the type of person that he has this chauvinistic conservative belief, right? And as a result, he thinks very highly of himself, right? And he doesn't see anybody else. He acknowledged you coming in, right? He acknowledged you. He didn't introduce himself to me. He didn't even say hello. He did use the word the ma'am when he talked to me, which I appreciate. Because when I'm annoyed with somebody, I say sir all the time. So I appreciated the fact that he did that. But then he just went in. It's like he, in his mind, I would ask him if he treats white women the same way that he treats black women. That's what would be a question that I would ask him. Does he see that white women are maybe as a higher caliber to his respect than black women? Because the way he went in on Maya Angelou was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And he just kept on doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. And then when he went into the whole atheism stuff, I'm like, yo, this boy, I can't win him. But at the end of the day, you could tell that he's intelligent because he has certain he told me things that I didn't even know, and I would acknowledge that. I didn't know that she was a prostitute. I didn't know that she married 3 white men. I didn't know that.
See, I wasn't paying close attention. So what was the argument at that time? Do you remember?
He was saying that the problem is that they're treating, his issue with the Nolan case is that they're treating this case as a race case, right? That they don't understand that something could have happened to Nolan that was different, right? Than we're thinking. Now,
but how did that tie to Maya Angelou? I didn't get it
exactly why he associated Maya Angelou to the conversation. I think he was just using her as an example to explain how black folks like Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crumb, they would use like race to make money, right? That's what he was trying to say. Like the reason why they talk about race all the time is because race is no longer a commodity in America. Like we all have overcome racism. That racism is no longer a thing. So if somebody want to make money, they try to bring racism into something and then it's not necessary. So I think he was trying to associate the fact that Maya Angelou, she was a prostitute and she made money by writing about racism, even though she was a prostitute. That's how I think he made the connection.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
how I think he made the connection. He could have picked anybody else.
I'm going to have to go back and listen because I was too
Yeah.
busy into trying to put Nolan together. But I heard a few things, but I'm going to go back and check it out.
Yeah, please do. Please do. It was a very interesting conversation. You could tell, again, you could tell that he's intelligent, but like every far right conservative MAGA Trump supporter, especially with the black face, they try to do everything to undermine the rest of our experience because they can't seem to get it. They don't, and I'm learning, you know, something. One thing as far as being part of the show, but also opening myself up now to more conversations because I closed myself off since 2016 to 2024. I wasn't messing with them. I wasn't messing, whether it was black or white, I wasn't messing with MAGA. But now I'm more open because I'm doing the content, I'm doing the casino, I'm meeting a lot of people that didn't vote like me. So I'm beginning to pay attention to their reasoning, besides me thinking that they're selfish, egotistical, privileged, spoiled people who don't care about others. You understand what I'm saying? That's not what I thought of think of MAGA. But I'm beginning more to understand their way that they think. And I'm learning more about black MAGA, black people who vote for Trump, that I never really took the time to understand. And I'm beginning to learn. I don't agree with anything they have to say, but I'm at least beginning to learn a little bit and see where the nuances different, what is missing in them, what is missing in their experiences and stuff. I'm beginning to understand that. I'm still trying to reconcile it with the person that I see, right? Because in my mind, these people is missing something that makes them humane, right? That's in my mind, right? But then when you actually talk to them and you meet them in certain circles, they could be funny, they could be fun. These are people that you could have a beer with, dinner with. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to reconcile what I lost since 2016 to get back to like trying to understand them. You see what I mean? And I'm still working. It's still a work in progress. But at least I'm talking to them now. At least I'm willing to talk and understand. And even in my disagreement, I'm willing to try.
Right. Thank you, Michelle, for the 2 jewels. I think it's very important because of your behavior tonight for you to end the show and tell everybody about Thursday nights and you're going to try to be a better person.
I am not. Okay, so thank you, Thursday night. Oh, wow, Mel know what he's doing. Thank you, Mel and Marie, Mel and what Mama for the wilderness. Thank
The
you,
wildness, yeah, she says for the wildness.
Mel and Mama for the wildness. I don't get this often. Thank you. So thank you so much for having me here. I'm not sorry I lost my temper this time. I've said sorry that I lost my temper in the past. This time I think I'm 100% justified for losing my temper and stuff like that. I do appreciate the fact that he was more respectful than the other guy. I lost my temper because he did man me to death and stuff like that. So I appreciated that and stuff. But I think that I was justified to feel offended, right? I gave him several opportunity to back up, but he stood 10 toes in. I hear you. I respect a hustle like everybody else. This show, I thought I actually did better on this show than the other shows because the other shows I really went crazy, went to the juggler. I thought I didn't go as far as I would have wanted to go, to be honest with you, because sometimes I be cussing they behind, and I didn't cuss this time to say one word, but So I appreciate everybody for being here. I appreciate for Mel for having me and stuff like that. If you come on this show and I'm here and I think that you're being disparaging to women, to black folks, to Democrats, even to MAGA, to anybody that I feel that you're disparaging, I am going to get on your behind. Okay? That's just the way I am. But thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. That's it, Mel.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We had a great show, in my opinion. I appreciate the show because I think everybody should have their freedom of speech. That's just my opinion. So sometimes your freedom of speech brings out the Sprite in folks. And with Mama Flips, it happens to come out. She can't help herself, you know. I've seen her working in person, and I'm not a talker. So when she starts acting up like that, I don't know if I got to grab somebody or what's going to go down. But that's just how New York is, right? Especially when you're dealing with all types of people. I'm just going to leave it at that. So at any rate, try not to get us in trouble, especially in person. You know, I don't want to come out of the courthouse and end up back in the courthouse. What's wrong with you? We got to get you some. We got to get some. We got to get some of the sisters in the comment section to help you out, baby.
I don't know why you keep blaming me. I wasn't at fault today. Thank you so much.
No, you're not. You're wonderful. Thank you so much. It's nice to have you on tonight, as always.
Thank
all right.
you so much. Love you so much. Thank you for having me.
I have to talk to you because I want you to go to Texas in a couple of weeks for Carmelo. I don't think I want to go. So anyway, I'm gonna talk to you about that now. All
yes,
right?
definitely. Let me know so I can put the days in for my job. Okay.
All right, you got it. Thank you. All right. See you guys later.
Bye,
and
guys.
We really appreciate it.
Even the ones that disagree with me. Love y'all. Bye.
You are too much.
Different voices, but the same song. Living a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the flame remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.